Yeah, so if you guys have gotchas and stuff, you can play them now, but we're going to resolve all the rules on Tuesday. Just as like a heads up. That way we can get to all the card stuff, because there's some other card things we want to do.
Just look at all those characters.
That's a lot of characters.
Look at all that beautiful art.
It is
Rabble,
no, to be honest. To see it all.
Okay, so today we are playing Enchanté, which is the all hands game we've been talking about. This is just us deciding what the goals of the group are, what our relationship with the silver thimble is, what from the crew to the silver thimble to the outer world. What are we doing, and what do we want the individual departments to be doing? What are your responsibilities and your goals? And as officers, as all of the players in this game are officers, what is your part in that? So, like, Nika will be once in a while putting up polls for you guys. Like, you guys will be talking through, like, the crew will be talking through Nika. The officers have the final say for these scenes. This is all them. And we're gonna be doing it like roundtable style. I will introduce players now. If I can remember what they are officers of, that's gonna be the tricky part.
Good luck.
Right? So we have Be Positive. Be Positive, who's played by Art. They are
Hi.
They are the officer, the medical officer, which is, as of where it stands right now, falls under science. And we have Vatna, who is played by Lurid.
I am here.
Who is a placed officer, like basically Rift.
Essentially,
was
navigation, I think. More or
yeah,
less,
navigation is like where we landed, but. And then Kay, who is played by Caustic.
Mielo.
They are the science officer. Oh, one of them. And we have multiples. And then Joaquin, who is played by Ez.
That's me.
Who is technically communications officer, kind of, because, like, yeah, as, like, the political side. And that's gonna have to be a thing that we hammer out today. And then Krieg, who is the accountant and fell under, like, city officer.
Hello, I take care of all of your money.
And then we have Leo, who is one of the engineering officers.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, sorry, played by Leo.
Hi.
Oh, and Krieg is played by Toast. Sorry. Ceylon, who is played by Twy.
Hello.
Communication senior officer, mostly focused on, like, the switchboards and radio towers, as far as I can tell. Like, Officer Nickel, who is played by Professor Winter.
And Nickel Trafford is center square.
Oh yeah, you really are. Like, Nickel is the navigations officer primarily for the airship and, like, pilot of the airship. Royce is our senior engineering officer, who is played by Cole.
Hello. And it's not just engineering. It was like experimental rift technologies.
Yes, that's what it is. Like, I know you were engineering with, like, a mad scientist undertone.
Mm-hmm.
Undergrad.
Gemini, played by Zach, is our, like, soft science, like, anthropology officer.
It's like, I hate
also,
using
like,
the word
one of
soft science, because, like, it's I feel like it's such a dismissive term, but it is a science.
Oh, yeah.
It is currently under science, which is one of the things
Yes.
that maybe we discuss.
Say hi, Zach.
Hi.
Say
I think
it.
Gemini's got a foot in the science department, and a foot in, like diplomacy. Because food.
Communication science.
Yeah.
We have Blueberries, who is most certainly a senior officer of engineering under basically repairs, and that is played by Josh.
I drove a monster truck to work today.
Oh, did you? Most excellent.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't have it. I shrunk my Discord so that... No, hold on.
Well, I've complicated things.
Way to go.
Way to go. Yeah.
You made the effort to do this
Where's the
work,
duct tape?
and I would like it to perfect. There it is. Just directly into the room.
Exactly as it should
Just-
be.
Hello, he's in the picture.
Hell
No, it's
yeah, brother.
probably not even the first hole that was made today.
It's the Crimson
Right,
Crusher. Get it now, Sunday.
It is Sunday.
Sunday.
We did it.
Sunday.
Not Saturday.
The
Not Saturday.
Blueberries arrives in the Crusher. He
You'll pay for the
misunderst-
whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
He misunderstood what the all hands meant.
Hell yeah.
Hands, you open it up instead of beer cans falling out. It's different kinds of hands. You just brought all your hands. It's like whatever kind of hands you need. I got them.
He's got the
Blueberry
baby
shows
hands.
up with a monster
Add
truck
to the
full of Bud Light and acceptance.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, Yvette was probably looking through them.
I'm like, oh,
And
what's
so-
going on?
So we have Talali, who is played by Trixie.
Mhm.
And as far as I know, oh yes, please. As far as I remember, Talali is the navigations officer for the sub. Very specifically, like, and cartographer. Is this correct? Yes. And Akana, played by Akana,
Hey.
it's said on all the paperwork that Akana is a navigations officer. We all know that Akana is not a navigations officer. Akana, you tried, like, you did a bang up job until you started shooting people, and then we're like, oh, that's the spy master for sure. Like, Akana's the spy master of the group.
It's not an official job,
That spies are supposed to be secret.
but it's
Yeah.
official.
I don't think Gemini knows that.
That's hilarious. And then, of course, we have Leto, played by Leto.
Well, hello.
Leto is an engineering officer as well because he is the engine of the submarine. And also,
like I am.
yeah, that's just what he is. Also, we've learned some weird stuff about, like, what Leto might be as, like, a character.
I mean, we haven't
recently.
really learned it because we did all of that stuff for Leto at
Never mind.
creation, but the rest of the crew is actually starting to learn more about what
Yes.
Leto is. Also, officially, Leto is a senior officer.
Yes, that's
As
right.
a
Sorry,
senior.
senior officer. And of course, last but not least, we have Lore, who is the officer of the reacquisitions group, but also, like, archaeology. Is this correct?
Yeah. I think that was what it was originally, and then, things happened.
All right. Absolutely. So I got through all that introduction. So we are all, like, sitting in a room, and Peanut is at the end of the table. Like, the captain's sitting at one end, and Peanut's sitting at the other. He's not sitting at it. He's standing. He's got, like, a whiteboard behind him. And he is, like, passed out. Sorry. Yeah. And so he has passed out tea and everything. Like, if your character wants tea, your character has tea. If your character wants coffee, they have coffee. He has stink flower, tea, and everything for Gemini.
Have we been able to import the good coffee?
No, because, like, well, you can, but how do you keep it away from Soki?
I've been trying to open a rift to seasonal since we got here to get the good coffee, and it just doesn't work.
Oh, Voice knows where to get the good coffee.
No, the good coffee, Vatna.
Yeah, the good coffee.
I'm just saying, Laura.
Wait,
has a
there's
very
better
good
coffee?
faith in her.
Why are you hiding this?
Are you talking about drugs?
We don't do
yes.
drugs here.
I mean,
It's hard to
caffeine's a
manage.
drug.
We
Peanut lights a
absolutely,
cigarette.
we absolutely don't do drugs here, says Gemini as he pours from his infinite whiskey flask into his tea.
Yeah, I'm dropping some little green dots into my own herbal tea as well.
We're all
Why
Like,
can't
terrible.
I have something like that?
We're all terrible.
You know, suddenly I feel very out of place here amongst you all. Huh.
Turns out we're
Gemini
all doing
kind of
drugs.
passes the flask.
Just sipping on some
Leo.
oil.
I'll take
Very
it.
glad to keep you out of your workshop.
Kay's just spritzing themselves
Eh.
with water.
Anyway,
What
peanut.
schedule is working, guys? He actually eats now.
Can we not at this moment? We have more important business to talk about, don't we?
I think the term is fish to fry.
You can't
I'd
say
rather
that.
we not
Peanut
use
gets all
that
the
term.
drink. So Peanut hands out everybody's drinks, and he's just like, as we all know, it's like a very quick like catch up on how this has been going on. Me, as you all know, me and Gemini missed out on this strange event that has led to the world being the way that it is. But I'm here to help and try to get things back to some semblance of normalcy, some semblance of structure. It's like I feel like we have lost our way a little bit. So he like pulls out, like he has like folders for every single game we've played, up like all the like the missions. He's just like, it has become clear to me that our dealings with Dyad have been going very well. Like we have successfully set up a competent trade system with them. The people have been fed. Our main concerns are multiple active hostile-ish groups around the area. And he's like, based on polling around the crew, we have discovered that we do not like the flamingos at all. Like, at all. And he's just like, I'm not fully sure what happened between us and the flamingos, but we know that. And we do not like the folks of Hymnal. I believe I have a note here from Seth that I don't think I can repeat. And he, like, tucks that away.
Anna's just staring at Trafford right now. At the mention of Hymnal.
Yeah. I'm maintaining a straight face as hard as I can.
They're copycats. That's what they are.
Damn flamingos.
It's like, rift travel does not seem to function, and if it does function, it doesn't function the same way that we are used to it. And we are bound to our locations based on these communicators. Well, not me and Gemini, and not anybody that are from this world. Mostly just...
Wait, we're not bound?
No, when it came to that discovery the other day.
Dang, maybe I should at least skim those reports.
You might want to skim the reports. And it's just like, he like ticking off things, and it's just, we discovered that the dwarves from Liminal have survived and are in one piece and memories intact. Correct, Voice? We are setting up trade with them.
Yes.
Seasonings. I said Liminal.
They give for a mountain of silver.
Yes,
they live inside a mountain of silver. A mountain of silver that Vatna at one point in time like saved, which is how they survived.
So is the crew in the same room as us, or are they outside?
No, they are not.
So that's no longer in my pocket dimension?
Yeah, that it could be, or like we made a copy of it, or the memory of that silver mountain, you know, anything. Like, we'll figure that out. Don't worry, me and you will talk.
Because that's still in like my back of my mind, but okay.
No, yeah, we'll get that. I thought like we drained that pocket dimension somehow for some reason, but no, it's cool either way. Well, me and you will figure that one out. But long story short, it's like Peanut just leans forward. This is not our world.
Wait, what?
Like, this is not Liminal.
Oh, okay.
It's like, we have no right.
For very much time.
What was that?
I have suspected for very much time.
It's And he like pulls up a map and he's just like click click, and like the little fucking like thing changes, and he's just like, we are here, and he points to like a 1 on a 20-sider. It's just like, this world, based on everything I have learned, is a 20-sided world, and based on the due diligence of Officer Vatna, we have realized that if we have 3 towers set up on each side, then we are able to transport ourselves to the next side. So say we go to the west, we build 3 more towers, we could then continue from there, either going further west or north. No wait, let me think.
Which is why
It's
it is
east or west.
imperative that we maintain control of them.
It's just like, it is imperative that we set them up if we intend to travel. This is true. But what is our place in this world? The place in Liminal was strictly, we were built. Well, we all understand that the Silver Thimble, the Lockstitch Academy, was built on a misunderstanding. Like the current and the leader then, one Taupe, was intending to use you all to create roads for black market illicit dealings to avoid the Starlight Corporation. We understand that. But then we began just helping the world, and like that's when I joined up, and you helped Reedy, and you helped all of the Liminal Plane, and then whatever happened in my absence happened, and the world became this world. And like Peanut takes a sip of his tea. Oops, somebody left the call.
Those Hawkins.
Oh, it's fine. This is like, so we've called you all in here, motioning between him and the captain, to discuss what are our goals. Individually, that is perfectly fine, but I mean more departmentally. And when we form out branches, what are the branches supposed to be doing? Like, who's working directly under you, and how do they work directly under you? And he's just like, and I believe we'll... Wait, sorry. 1 second, how did I... It's like... We are standing on the precipice of a new adventure, and we must ask ourselves, who are we as people? And he clicks his thing, it's just like, possible crew goals that I laid out. And he's like, you guys all have the itinerary in front of you, and he's just like, as you can read in your paper, but I will repeat it. Like, what are we doing? Like, are we trying to discover the full extent and consequences of the event that brought this all into being? Have we started studying that? And we probably, like, I think that it's a thing that we could do. Are we trying to make the Silver Thimble a bigger thing? Are we city builders and like statesmen and women? And when we connect to other cities, is that our goal? Like building alliances with our neighboring cities? Like, or are we setting out to explore more? Like, are we trying to establish ourselves as a known force throughout the world through culture, technology, humanitarianism, monetarily? And looks over at Krieg for a second, or militarily? It's like, are we going back to the idea of hunting down weapons that people shouldn't be having? Like, and is that our call to make? I don't know. I will open the floor to you, and I can do round robin if you guys want to, unless like you guys have like, do you want to do round robin or just say that you want to say something?
I'm fine with round robin.
Okay, well, I guess I'm starting at top left again. So, B, do you have anything that... And you guys feel free to pass if you don't have any idea. Like, if you don't have any strong feelings, you can just say pass, or, like... And it doesn't have to be a long answer. Can be a short, like, thing. Like, what does B think the primary goal of the Silver Thimble... Not the Silver Thimble, but the Wander Crew should be? Not just departments yet, but an overarching goal. So everybody think about that. Like that is the first step. And now I'm watching for Art to type.
Everyone stare.
Everybody just stare at Art typing.
I'm peeping that typing. Oh no, she stopped. No, she started again.
We shall continue to perceive until text is complete.
There.
That was said with the same energy as the beatings shall continue until morale improves.
And that was quite intentional.
I'm glad.
I'm not sure we need a goal. Maybe we don't have a place in this new world at all.
Absolutely.
It's a little deterministic.
Any direct
but
rebuttal.
alright.
Yeah. So that is, and Peanut nods, and he's just like, and Officer Vatna, sorry, Officer Stein Plus.
Vatna's dead.
Shit, did we give him too much coffee?
I'm sorry, I forgot I changed it to push to talk.
It's just like going on this big whole thing. It's like like arms swinging, like, and then this, and then I feel like this, and just add to nothing, to no one.
Nothing to add.
All right, for sure. And Kay, how do you stand on this? What do you believe is the role that the Wander Crew should play in this world?
Oh, I'm sorry, Alan. I thought I was responding to B. I have.
Oh no, okay. I'm sorry. My bad. Like, go ahead. Rewind. And Vatna, how do you see what do you see as the goal of the Wander Crew moving forward?
Strange things happen near daily, and I want to understand them. I think we need to explore, discover, perhaps acquire, seal, understand.
Peanut nods, and he does pull like you see him pull a file out that just says anomalies on the top of it. And like he opens a couple of the pages. He's like, we have seen some very strange things.
Magic happenings, anomalies outside of magic. Outside of all our comprehensions. No bar.
He nods, and he's just like, so you believe that is the Wander Crew's place to set these, to study or to contain?
That's a
Or both.
decide. Firstly,
You see-
I think we need to
okay.
start with the dreams, the nightmares,
He's just
the
he's like-
wakings.
he does like he pulls out another folder that just says like Dreamworm.
And lemons.
It's like, yeah, and like he opens that up and it's just a bunch of pictures of lemons. It's like, uh-huh. It's like, thank you for that, Vatna. And Kay, how do you see the Wander Crew moving forward in this world?
I think that since we have formed as more, what we thought of the intent was to research and learn. We were going around and learning things as a group, and we did grow to help people, and that has become part of who we are. But my concern is that for the longest time we weren't in a position of political power. We moved as people allowed us, and then eventually we became part of a city, but I don't think we are the city. And the way that you keep saying us interchangeably with that city is almost unfair to the people that live there, I think. I think that we need to extricate ourselves somewhat, not entirely, because we are still part of it, but we shouldn't be the controlling political power. We shouldn't be going around and forcing our wills on other people. They have their own beliefs. We should be learning and growing and helping where we can, and just seeing what there is out in the world to figure out what our place truly ends up being in this new place.
So despite the fact that... Oh.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
So something that I want to interject real quick is that from the captain's perspective, everyone in the Silver Thimble is our responsibility. Does not necessarily mean that we should be the ruling class, but their protection is our responsibility because their predicament is our fault.
That is right. We should help them, but
yeah, absolutely.
They are their own people.
Here, and like it just
even if we get some sort of governing council that we don't have to fully be in charge of, so that they can become their own people. And out of character, this is a bit of a concern that our home doesn't really feel like a home. It feels like small little places that we are, but it's so empty of the actual civilians that why would we come back after we start to travel so far?
I mean,
agree
in part
with Kay.
Because they
Someone
are our
should
responsibility. Like they
Someone
would
from the
fully
crew
not
should
be
be
here
there.
if we did
I'm-
not bring them here. Give me a second to like finish my thought.
Sorry.
Right now we find ourselves situated with directly in the middle of a bunch of established powers sitting on a beautiful nest egg of technology that everyone wants. And the only thing keeping those forces at bay is because they do not know what we are capable of. But they will find out. And we owe it to the people of the Silver Thimble to protect them when those forces come for what we have.
Yeah, I mean, of course. But I don't think we should be like the ones controlling them. If anything, they would be the ones asking for if they want us to do something, they can request it, because we are part of them, but we are not only they're not just us.
But do we not feed them? This is Peanut. Do we not feed them? Do we not
help us?
Clothe them? Have we not, of course they help, and they build their city, and... So you are saying that us, as Wander Crew, should have no part in the politics of the Silver Thimble?
It did cut out briefly. I'm so sorry. If you could repeat.
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Peanut is saying basically we feed them, we clothe them. Why shouldn't we lead them?
Because it's not our place. We've become almost paramilitary. That would be a military group controlling people just because we happen to have the most power. That's unfair to them.
Can I interject here?
Absolutely.
I don't know about many of the other officers and crew members, but I've helped build a lot of this city. I don't view it as someone else's city. I view it as my own city at this point. I'm not doing it to further the Wander Crew's goal. I'm doing it because I've recognized this as my home and my place to be. So trying to separate that will be a problem because we've integrated ourselves very, very much so into the inner workings of the city. I do agree that we shouldn't try to completely run everything, and that a council or governing body that represents everyone will be the proper way to do things. But we are not going to be able to separate ourselves at all from this city.
You're basically agreeing with what I was saying. We are part of the city, but we are not the city. There's more to the city than just us, is basically the angle that I'm talking about here.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's perfectly fine. Peanut looks so... Oh, go ahead.
Alright, so it's maybe one person instead of the whole crew? Is that what you're going at?
Like a representative from the crew, basically?
Yeah, that way it falls onto not just the whole crew taking care of everything. It's just one person that all the townspeople can go to with their problems or their issues.
Actually, I'm sorry, okay, if I may be, but I think it was more someone amongst the crew, but not as the leader, is someone to help with leading. It can't just be us.
What if we set up like a call
one of
center?
us.
Did you just say call center?
What?
Oh, sorry. What if we set up a call center type situation?
The switchboards are already overloaded as it is, with all of the crew chatter jumbled up around. But I do like the idea of a call center and like kind of like a town call kind of situation, and that's where they go to rabble rouse. Like
Peanut raises his hand.
Dash.
Excellent points. Peanut's just excellent points all around. I kind of just put dash. As excellent points all around. I would like to put a pin in this and come back to it later if that's okay, Kay. I
didn't mean to sidetrack entirely to the government here. I was also...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to draw on my whiteboard right here, and he turns around and he writes, a liaison from the crew, but maybe a mayor for the city that comes from the people?
Or a committee, or some kind of...
mayor or committee. But the committee could be built out of, like, you have the mayor, and then you have, like, a liaison from the crew, and perhaps other factions around the city. Perhaps like a undercity mayor as well, as it is a distinct part of the city at this point.
Yeah,
I'm just spitballing
Someone
here.
immediately comes to mind to dominate.
I would like to hear from more of our crew. Let's get
started. Yes, I'm working on it. I'm sorry.
Returning back to the concept of goals, what the goals would be, I believe, Joaquin, you're up if you are physically present.
Perfect. I am present, yes. I'm hearing what everyone is saying, and I've been there since the beginning, like all of you. Research and exploration of anomalies has been our beginning focus. It cannot be the only focus going forward. We can't just see ourselves as a peaceful science expedition that are making friends along the way. I think the past years have shown that we are surrounded by hostile entities and very, very credible threats. We have to ensure the defense of the Silver Thimble. I agree with the captain wholeheartedly. We owe responsibility and loyalty to those civilians. And we need to establish our own identity politically, and we have to balance bolstering our alliances with maintaining enough force to secure the crew and the civilians who we're responsible for. And I think the structure of the organization should reflect a balance between research, military force, and diplomatic outreach. For instance, we already have evidence of several factions that have already engaged in open operations targeting our technology and even our personnel, and we'd be foolish to neglect our own counter operations.
And Peanut's just like, you just see Peanut like, here, and like he
Here,
slaps
here.
his paw down. Because
I
Peanut,
agree. I love you so much. I love you so much. Thank you.
I'm glad I went before you, because if I had gone after you, I just would have been like, fuck.
Well then.
yeah, Peanut's is like restructuring the crew and like not losing our military might. I personally, at Peanut, you all know me, believe strongly that we need to retain some of this military might, because I know that all of you are aware that some dark deeds have been going on in this city. We've already referenced the flamingos and the strangeness of that is the dream we're motioning towards Vatna. And it's just like, and we need to figure these things out. And just being a peaceful science crew might not allow us to do such things. So
But
thank
of
you.
course, lest anyone call me some sort of bloodthirsty maniac, these things obviously must be balanced by the calm discussions between ambassadors, between strokes of pens, between collaboration with other societies. But we cannot just rely on their goodwill.
We should also learn more about these groups and make sure that it's not everyone. Like, it could be small groups that are causing problems, and if we just assume that it's the entirety of them, then that puts us in a bad place.
And that's exactly why we need robust diplomatic ties as well as reconnaissance and information.
I think that's when Peanut looks over at Akana and just like does the head nod at Akana. It's like, oh, guess who's gonna get more work coming up?
May I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
From the moment I was born, I have been at war to ever-increasing threats, to include world-ending disasters. You have my support.
Fucking we've unlocked violent Vatna. It's like, oh no. So, Peanut looks over and he's just like, and Krieg, and thank you for your time, Joaquin. And Krieg, Officer Renix.
Well, I feel like we're here now. I don't see any reason into looking backwards into why we got here. We should go moving forward. I do agree that we need to protect what is ours, more so that we don't lose people or items, because it's the more we lose, the more they think they can push us around, which we obviously want to avoid. But as Joaquin said, too much is too much. So that's why I think we should build alliances with the neighboring cities and groups. Also, more money never hurts anybody. So exploring everywhere would be a good idea, so we know what we're up against. We can better combat that. I don't think we should go hunt down items, because it's not really our prerogative. But just like the people of Holt, they're known everywhere, and no one will mess with them, either with their money or the military. Holt is pretty much just, they can do what they want because everyone trusts them. So being able to go around and offering different services or alliances is a good idea. But we also can't lose where we came from. So we got to protect where we came from so we can search out without having to worry about where we came from when we're leaving.
Absolutely. Penis is like, of course, and he's just like, not subtle with the money there, Krieg.
Thanks.
And
Worked all day on it.
And it's just like there's no doubt that Krieg, through his expeditions since arriving here, has if not single-handedly, like with a small group and impassioned actions, has turned the silver thimble back around from a starving city to let's face it, we are thriving at this point. We have more tourists than we can handle at any one given time. So there is much to take in with that. And Officer Leo Levin.
Hold on. Before you go, Leo, I have one more thing I would like to state.
Of course, sorry.
As of today, I shall be resigning the crew so that I may run for mayor. He just kind of looks at the captain and then looks at everybody else.
You're retiring, sir?
Not retiring, just resigning so that I may run for mayor. Because as Kay said before, if one person has too much power, I would like to at least work to make sure the city is taken care of. But if I'm part of the crew, people may use that against us. So if I'm not part of the crew, I can then protect the thimble as a single person instead of a group.
While I think nobody is,
I can't say I'm surprised or like that.
Well, nobody is surprised and nobody is fooled by Krieg's actual motives. I cannot argue that it is a very valid point. And certainly one of the
Making
most
money, but for good reasons.
You say nobody's fooled, but Gemini just starts applauding. It's like, I had you pegged wrong the whole time, man.
Gemini is fooled. Sorry, everybody. Everybody roll me a 20-sider.
What?
Roll me a 20-sider. Figure out if you're fooled, except for Gemini. Gemini rolled that 1. No, I'm kidding, but you guys can, for sure. If you rolled a 1, you're fooled.
I think
I use that 20
from this roll?
Yeah,
I'm
most
like
certainly.
Staring at Craig. Just like,
I
really?
think I may have actually been
It's not a
fooled.
1. It's not a 1. It's a 10.
Yeah, look at that. Akana was not fooled.
Can I use that
Hey,
20 I rolled earlier?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Vatna. You are not fooled. You know that.
I knew this was
You
coming.
realize that. Yeah, you saw it coming the whole time.
Kay is like, you are so full of shit.
In Vatna's head, he's thinking, what comes next after the acquisition of an entire city?
So Toad doesn't
City
believe
than the
himself.
world.
I think Nickel was fooled, but for entirely different reasons than Gemini or anyone else.
That's funny. All right, Leo. What after that announcement? What does Leo see as the goal of the crew, or that he thinks this should be the goal of the crew?
Right. Well, while I understand that moving forward is very important, but we shouldn't forget, we shouldn't just ignore what brought us here in the first place. We really should try to research upon what, more upon what got us here in the first place, because I still remember, I still have this stuck in my head, kind of playing often. When T blamed us for this mistake that we apparently were supposed to know, but frankly, I don't think none of us really did. So
I don't think any of us bothered to ask. And I think that it is our responsibility to know what we have done and be confronted with that.
Yes,
Continue.
Sorry, yeah, exactly. We really need to know why this all happened. More upon why, not just let it just be and just keep moving. We can't do that. If we ignore these kind of things, we're doomed to repeat it in a different way. It might not be a rift, but we might just cause more problems if we keep ignoring these major events that we were a part of. I know it's a bit of an odd thing to do compared to what we usually do, but
Is this
Vatna, you are
conscious?
well. I was going to look to you for this one, Vatna, because you're more well known. You're more well versed with rifts and the like than anyone else. I know we can't use them now, but I know you know about these more than anyone else, and we probably would need to defer to you for these studies. Maybe we can't go anywhere now, but with what you know, maybe we can figure out what brought us here and why we're stuck here as we are now. And if we can figure that out, maybe we can find a way to, maybe, who knows, maybe figure out a way to get these rifts like working as they used to be, or at least to know, at least to know.
I have a condition if I were to agree.
Of course. What's on your mind?
You would assist me.
Of course. I would gladly assist you in this endeavor, Officer Steinpollet.
I would
Please,
also
good.
recommend speaking to Miss Katori.
I have received an offer from Miss Katori as well.
I've never met Katori. I will need to make sure to do that, and I am sorry that I haven't been on track with all of the crew. I really feel like I should be doing that. My apologies.
I will say here, she suggested a team to investigate how risk functions in this new world, if they even do. That could be tied in and a part of it.
Peanut nods, just like, absolutely. So, a crew and a team dedicatedly researching the events that led us to where we are is high priority for me, personally.
Mm-hmm.
And Maestra Ceylon.
So Ceylon takes.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So I've been sitting at the long table, and as everybody has been talking, instead of like physically writing notes, she's been like kind of tuning individual little crystals, and she places a couple of the crystals on the table, and is like, I think that the crew is most powerful when they are in harmony with each other, and so many voices are allowed to come together and resonate for the good of all, because it's awesome when it happens, and there's awesome power in that. And so like I am pursuing power in that way, and I would like to listen and tune basically like these like little idols, little dolls kind of situation of the crystals by continuing to listen to others before I myself can harmonize best, and just to kind of like I'll come back to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Peanut looks over and he's like, and Officer Trafford? It's like,
yes, I've been thinking about this a lot myself. Unlike a lot of you here, I wasn't involved in this from the beginning. In fact, I think with the possible exception of Officer Stein Positive, I may be the newest officer here at the table. And, when I first came, I didn't have this crew, this everything gave me a new place. And what I'm thinking, I do think we do need to explore, but one thing's I've been thinking, I know that Officer B Positive said maybe we don't have a place. Well, maybe we don't, but I think there's also a lot of people in this world, in this 20-sided world, who've lived here for a long time who don't have a place either. And maybe one thing we do is we explore. If there's someone who, feel like they don't fit in anywhere else, or maybe someone who, is willing to join the crew or help out with the city, make sure we have a place for them, a place, where someone who's otherwise doesn't fit in, who doesn't let out, who needs it, make sure that they have a place to go. And I guess that'd be part of the diplomacy, maybe making sure that the city is a place that is safe for our people, but also safe for people who need safety, and that I think goes hand in hand with what Officer K was saying as well, that we can't be the entire city. We will always be a part of it. I'll always be a part of it, but we also have to think there to make sure that, give opportunities for the city to grow as well.
Here, here.
Here, here.
It's like, and absolutely. If we make the city a grander place and a place that people feel safe and we can protect it, then it is definitely moving in the right direction, I feel personally.
Once again, Officer Trafford, you humble me with your compassion. I often, in my endeavors, do not think about those who could benefit from our aid, but I am not dismissing the importance of it, and I am glad you are thinking of them.
Thanks, and for your part, Officer Stein Positive, you know things, can do things, and figure out things that even if I had 1,000 years here, I'd never be able to figure out, and that's something I need to keep in mind too when I handle some of the things I have to handle, or some of the things I end up handling, let's say.
I can always endeavor to do my best to explain.
Yeah, feel free to let us know when things like Absolutely, I like where this game is going so far. Notes. And yeah, so he's like, Peanuts just like agrees wholeheartedly.
Same.
Then he looks over at Royce and he's just like, all right. I don't want to say Royce's last name because I feel like I'm going to mess it up again.
Do it.
No, he's just gonna say Officer V. Is it Vanderbilt or Vanderbilt?
It's Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vanderbilt. See, I had it right the first time, but I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna say it wrong.
You could have said it as a W instead of a V.
Vanderbilt?
Vanderbilt?
Vanderbilt.
It's German, right?
Vanderbilt.
He's a dwarf.
Maybe we could discuss names a little later.
Yeah, later. Sorry. I was gonna go down a rabbit hole, and all of a sudden I have to change all my dwarf names to German names.
Leave it to the rabbit to help you out of the rabbit hole. Oh boy.
Fucking pull us out of that salad.
Our goals. Everything that we'd like to do is going to require some amount of manpower, funding, and items.
Yes.
As we currently are, we're going to run out of those eventually if we don't build up the silver thimble into something stronger. I would love to go out and explore and figure out exactly what happened and how to prevent that from ever happening again and understand what's happened. But we can't do that without a basis, a foundation to build up from. And building the silver thimble up to house not only its occupants, but to be a source for us to jump off from and then eventually start exploring is, I think, our most important goal here.
Here. So, and it really feels like thus far, like, I know we're not all the way through it, but like, it really feels like thus far you guys want to build up the city.
Make more money. I mean, help the people.
And I'm well aware of my own faults in causing this whole catastrophe, but I'm gonna work with the rest of you to make things right, and I think that all starts with the city.
Hard agree.
Yeah,
And
fuck yeah.
picking out the flamingos.
Well, we all screwed up together, but we'll all get out of this together, one way or another.
And pointing back to what Joaquin kind of brought up, in our current activities, it's become well apparent that Bobbert has already established himself as some sort of power to the north and has dipped his wings and feathers in multiple different pots. And I think it'd be in our best interest to counteract him by getting stronger ourselves.
I need to understand the lemons.
Those lemons. Oh, I did not. That was a plot point I did not plan out. It's because Van X made that plot point.
He just gets
It's like,
very
absolutely.
excited in his chair.
You see Peanut like slow turn at like the lemon wedges he has for the tea, and he just like cat knocks it off the table into the garbage. Like pat, 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 pat.
Yeah, how do we know the lemons weren't listening?
The lemons have ears? Oh no.
Not burn those lemons
The
now.
I can't deal with that
the
idea
lemons,
right now.
I can't deal with the lemons being be listening devices.
Look. We've been through enough.
Right, that instantly incinerates all the lemons.
Good thing is, Harkus.
I mean, comms can be
isn't
put in
here,
anything.
Lemons are delicious.
Oh shit! Now we gotta get out of the Caesar salad.
God damn it.
Everyone adjust your comms.
The whole room. Yeah, we figured out the signal's not leaving the room. Like, we are the switchboard. We're right here. Does anybody have lemons on them? Is that?
Not now.
They were lemon. Like he had lemons set out for tea.
Gemini pulls a lemon out of his pocket and starts putting the zest into his tea.
Nice.
Puppin says we have
Anybody want some?
meeting.
Bee quietly slides over and replaces the lemons with some candy to make Peanut feel better.
Peanut does feel better for it.
That is just bristling at the lemons.
Gemini is so confused about why everybody's
Like a
so
cat.
upset about lemons.
Yeah, July
doesn't
Lemons are
know.
evil.
We need to
Salad.
We need to mention to you about some of the things about that later. But for now, Gemini, I think we need your input, sir.
So
Go ahead. Peanut would look to Gemini. It's like, I know that we only revived a short time ago, and like many of our friends, Rennick and Castor and Pollux and Castor and Osiria have really set out into this new world and have made some very powerful discoveries. Rennick discovered that we, as not being here during the event, have the ability to travel beyond the communications towers. Our communicators lose power, but it has no adverse effects on us as people. And it's like, and based on my report, that the voice was there for, and on the new the dwarves in the newly established lullaby, that it is possible for you to remain yourself even without your communicator, but it involves either high doses of silver in Royce's case, or in Katori's case, a low dose of silver kept her mind as her own, but her body became what this world's reality thought it should have been. So I believe we need to get it on a little bit of studying on that, if it's okay with Katori. Don't go poking her with sticks. She does not like that.
So have Royce poke her with sticks then.
And don't lick her.
Why are
Don't
you
lick
going?
B, don't lick.
Be lick Katori.
Write it down if you do. Please continue, Gemini.
Slurp.
So, to talk about the economic, political, military, all that crap, I don't know that anybody's going to really know what to think of us until we, like, show what we're capable of. So I think we need, like, some kind of show of force against some kind of threat.
I was going to
Something
say
that can
outreach when you
yeah.
said that.
Yeah, something that can show, like, yeah, we're powerful, but we're willing to help.
Strike down the flamingos and then help with the aftermath.
Domination of an enemy?
But I don't necessarily know we need to do that, like, with military strength? Like, we got all these towers we're building. And each side's a triangle, right? So we only need one more tower to establish another side.
Oh no,
Then
we have
another-
three on this side.
All
We have three on
towers.
this side.
All the towers that we need for the side that we're on have been achieved. As
Batna
of
just
this-
crosses his arms.
As of this weekend.
And then to connect to another one, you don't, because there's every side. There's two. We only need one more to complete another triangle, right?
No.
You would need
If
it
you
for
go
each
to
side.
another
Basically
side.
3 for each side.
Ah.
Mm-mm.
Well, two of them would be close to where we already have. So
Maybe. I might take that as an argument.
Peanut turns around and he starts like writing his like possible threats that we have knowledge of. He writes Dreamworm and draws a little picture of Vatna next to it.
We're supposed to do something
And,
for
like-
Paul.
it's just like, regardless, we're gonna be building lots of towers. What if we use those, like, add other functionality to them and use them as a service to help local communities with communications stuff, connect everyone together more easily, make some money off of that, show we're an economic power
You're
with
here, money.
good technology.
I have no arguments with this whatsoever. This feels in line with what we could do. We can do this.
Yeah. Yeah, become established as maybe a communications group or something. Make it easier to get recipes. But also, with all our great technology, why don't we also start developing a space program so people will start believing me when I'm telling them I was off-world?
Yeah, a lot of people thought you were crazy.
Yeah, sure you were, Gemini. Okay, it's okay.
What do you mean off for?
I was with Peanut!
Guys, hold on. No.
Peanut sips his tea. He's
Peanut's like, I've never
I'm
seen
not
this man
sure he
before in
was.
my life.
See, Peanut doesn't believe you.
Yeah, regardless, I think the towers are going to be
Is that where you got that delicious food? That pudding.
Oh yeah.
That we shared.
We got all kinds of good stuff.
I just want to say, you had me at put on a show. Like,
Yeah.
You
yeah,
crash.
comes, we'll talk. That's why
This-
you're
this is
straddling. Oh yeah.
Everything so far is really great, and like will lead to the next part of the conversation. I just got to get through the next couple ones. And he looks at blueberries, and he's just like, there's definitely a moment that he kind of like sighs for a second.
What?
And he's just like, it's good to see you out of your room, blueberries. We haven't talked since you returned. How do you foresee this going forward? And please, park your monster truck outside.
First of all, of
That
course, I
monster truck
parked
is
it
still,
outside. It wouldn't
still
fit
idling.
inside. Yeah, it's idling out there. Can't you hear it? Brrr.
It's inside and outside.
I mean, I drove it a little
It's just
inside.
parked
but-
right next to Akana's motorcycle.
It's messing with the people that are trying to listen in.
Just don't worry about it. Yeah. It's providing good white noise. You know what they say. Finders keepers. I'm down for more adventuring. That's what I want to do. I want to go find stuff. That's what I think we should be doing. Is going and adventuring, discovering things.
You're here.
A vote for exploration and adventure to any goal or just to see what there is to see.
I just want to see stuff, man.
Then if that's the case, the communication towers would probably the towers would probably be a priority then, in order to venture out further.
Absolutely.
East.
He looks over at Talali and he's just like, Officer Sleek Feet. It's like it's good to see you again. Do you have any opinion one way or the other for us to go as the crew?
I mostly agree with Leo. If we don't know what happened, we probably are going to make things worse. And I just want to explore. But that's just me.
Absolutely. Like,
How's your
study
frog?
it, then get out there. Yeah, I'm down with that. And he looks over at Akana. Akana, as our and he definitely does air quotes, navigations officer. How do you see the silver thimble impacting this world? Or as the silver thimble should impact this world?
I am glad I got to listen to a lot of different viewpoints from the officers and Captain and you, Peanut. I really started to vibe with Officer Joaquin's statements. The only word that made me flinch was military force, and I know I am the shoot first, ask questions later persona, but in my maturity in my officer role, I don't think that's the best approach. I think defense and protection is important for what we have at the Thimble. I love the idea, the humanitarian idea that Gemini brought up about making it, and Midnight, sorry, Officer Travers, and Officer Travers, sorry. All of them made great points about making it a welcoming and safe place and building a foundation. I believe in all of that. I kind of have one foot in navigation with the sub and one foot in communications with information gathering. And I think those would be my priorities. If we find what can help us relationship build, we can strengthen our geopolitical stance and our outward reputation to other civilizations. I think using the communication towers is also a really good idea, and to even make it more tied to the local communities. They have somehow have a stake in it. Maybe if decoration is important to them, then we can add that, or if trade is important to them, it could be a hub built around a tower or a building with a tower, as we have looked into.
We get Market Tower.
Market Square Towers? I don't know.
See
Market
what
Square
they
Towers.
need from us,
No,
what
yeah.
help we can provide that they're asking for.
Right, and make that tower like a beacon, community beacon for them. Maybe even draw people who don't have a civilization to belong to towards these that already exist.
As head of that project, may I respond?
Of course.
There are ideal locations for each tower on each side that ended up next to a civilization of one sort or another is pure coincidence. I do not want to guarantee that a tower must be part of a community.
I think it was just an idea, maybe not necessarily a recommendation.
I completely
understand, and I will still
like, what
keep
both
it
of
in
you are
mind.
saying. The fact that, for sure, and like if we want to go that direction, like, it's a game, it's all made up. Like I could literally say that the prime locations for all of the towers are somewhat near a civilization. You know,
I could
like
track.
just so we can, like add like in game, like they are there for a reason, and like that reason might be good vibes. You know.
Cool.
So like
We also
we could
don't
definitely
necessarily need to just build the 3 towers.
No,
on our side,
this
we
is only the beginning.
Yeah.
Plus, we can offer hub for food, trade,
Yeah.
money, information.
Information.
Wet ball.
Sports.
And,
Entertainment.
might I add, rapid deployment.
So somewhat we would be known for outposts.
They're not
Creeks outpost.
outposts. They're community beacons. It's all about how
Creeks
you.
community beacon.
Hear me out. Instead of Trader Joe's, Trader Posts.
Trader Creeks. I like it.
No.
Yeah, it's like, that's weird. That's
I
a weird way to
resigned,
pronounce Trader Krieg's Akana, but
I
it's
didn't.
close enough, I guess.
I literally did not.
It's just like we all heard it. We all heard Akana say Trader Krieg's.
But Krieg's going to be
It's
too
just like-
busy, with his mayoral campaign.
That's why
You've already decided the little people versus horde
Don't worry,
expansion.
I've got help
Resigned.
from
They are
other
not
people, it's
grandstands
fine.
for political ventures, Krieg.
Hey, it's not political, it's money.
You're probably also going to be busy enough that you won't have time for the secret recipe, but don't worry, I'll take care of That
No,
place.
no.
No, you've divested
No.
out of everything now. You already announced. You didn't wait for everybody else to
Resigned.
finish.
I
Secret
regret
recipe's not in the Silver Thimble though, so.
No, but he's going to be
anyway.
too busy with his mayoral campaign.
Oh, fair.
nothing. What Squishy's taken care of, so he's got the secret recipe, so don't worry.
Peanuts just like hits his like gavel that you guys did not see him have, and like when you look over, it's not a gavel, it's just the cup with
Lemon.
bees candy in it, just like clang clang clang. This is like that was amazing, and we will look into that. And speaking of building strange things, Leto, what is your take on this? How does it feel for you in this new world?
Well, I'm just a humble engine. Chugging along, keeping things moving. So my thoughts don't really go either way on the political side of should we help them or not, or this or that. I say as long as I'm working, churning along, I think we should still explore and see what this new world has to offer, but also be available when or if needed to come help with any situation that may arise, saying is that a lot of it's our fault, so we continue to explore in the interim, and when and if we are called for, we take action.
Absolutely.
He said the our fault part out loud.
Oh.
We all know it's our fault.
I mean, it's pretty plain and obvious on that one that it.
Yeah, I was warning you guys all
for
season
fuck's
2
sake,
that it
even
was about
Leto
to
knows it's
happen.
our
I've
fault.
done nothing wrong. You can't
Folks,
prove it.
it's
I
a
admitted
closed
it.
door meeting.
It's just like Joaquin's just like, guys, we can all say it out loud. We fucked up, right?
Yeah, we all fucked up.
Yes.
I take a bit more of that blame, but we all fucked up.
The crew must never know.
Hey, I make no apologies for that jailbreak.
Oh my god!
Don't tell them
imagine-
anything.
I mean, it's not my first time like screwing up royally, or screwing up the crew royally.
No one told me that entangling planes together was a bad idea.
I think some people mentioned it.
Remember that time it
It's just
became
like,
a book?
That was pretty fun.
It was fun. I saw the flock of Kukla and I waved and they waved back. Yeah.
Wait, does this have something to do with that mess of roots at the bottom of the diggy hole?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
To put it briefly,
I mean,
yes.
I mean, if this is a safe place to spill, officer and crew secrets, one time I actually blew a hole in the sub. Sorry about that, Leto.
You did what?
Just the one
Yeah,
time.
that was fun. I mean,
Oh, he
no idea you
told.
did that.
I had to hammer tables onto a hole to keep it from sinking.
Good news, it got blown up right
I
after
told you it wasn't me.
What?
Why
It
don't
definitely
we let...
was not me. I was in the sub at the time.
Why don't we let Officer Lore speak before we start arguing?
Right. Now's not the time.
I'm
Now's not the
calm.
time.
Give her the floor.
I was just a cocoon.
The captain is like hyper squeezing her Krieg squeezy toy.
Leo's foot is tapping on the floor rapidly.
I'm just gonna drink.
Can't do nothing.
Peanut looks over at Lore and he's just like, Lore, I know that you have been making great progress in many friends and like good diplomatic, like in a different way than Krieg and Joaquin have been also making their own friends for reasons. Like, I have it on good authority that Lore has also sealed us a ally with Sal, and even like begin to turn him from what I definitely believed was antagonistic based on in early reports to almost a friendly figure. And I definitely appreciate that. What do you see as the place in this world for the Wander crew?
I think the crew itself in this world is a little bit too complex and multifaceted. Yes, I realized there's a pun there. To just have one singular goal for the crew. And
We
more
can
of
have
a-
multiple goals. Multiple goals are fine.
Yes. But personally believe the focus should be on first exploration and then research and understanding of the cultures and civilizations we run across for the sake of diplomacy, and also to understand what changes were wrought because of the convergence event that we caused. As well as not so much city building for the crew, but supporting the silver symbol as much as we can, because this is our home. We are responsible for the people here. And as it was said earlier, also taking responsibility for the mistakes we have made along the way, or mistakes we may make, because, well, none of us are perfect.
Hear, hear.
And just a brief, if I may, a brief note from earlier about the civilians. I made some notes and just want to throw them out there. Perhaps what we should do is have an elected council from the civilians and the Wonder Crew. Say an even number of elected officials plus the mayor, so that way there's like an even number excluding the mayor of the crew and the civilians, but it's a total odd number of people, so there's never a complete stalemate. For Silver Thimble Minute.
I mean, absolutely.
One note that about the cultures that we will encounter, we have to remember that these people, from what I can tell, have been living here for thousands of years. Just a guess. Yes. These are established cultures. It's not necessarily our place to put our foot in their lands. I
would never attempt to change their culture. It's for our own understanding of what we knew before and what versus what is now.
What if their culture harms us?
I just have concerns when it comes to unintentionally becoming like colonizers, conquerors.
We're not
we can't
becoming
force that.
Colonizers. That's literally not going to be on the table. We will not be playing that game. Just
Which paperwork?
Nip that in the bud so we don't go fear-mongering something we would never do.
Yeah, well, the concern here is, like, how much is it on our place to be like, Hymnal bad people, stop them because they're being assholes?
Oh no, I agree with that line of thinking.
They're copycats.
They can do what they want.
Is it our place to stop them?
I think you have to look at it like this. This is our world now, too. Yes, we are not exactly well established, but this is the starting point of where we build a proper history for ourselves. We are deciding from this point on how we want that history to go. I'd rather it be one of helpful and making good connections, but still being resilient enough to point out, hey, these people are doing bad. We should all band together and stop them, type of deal.
Just, I'm somewhat in character, some out of character. Are we sure we can't negotiate with the people of Hymnal at this point? Like, have we even
might
tried?
be able to.
Yeah,
I mean,
so we can't.
We're not on bad terms with them as such.
We don't make any specific policy decisions per group of people surrounding us. This is about a general strategy about reinforcing our entire position and extending the arm of diplomacy in any direction where we see fit.
And that is an avenue I think we should pursue. I don't want us to constantly be at arms, because that is a front we will not win.
We don't have the means, we don't have the officers, we don't have... We are not here to wage war, Joaquin says, as like he's looking over to the captain like, are we here to wage war? What the fuck?
Captain,
are you sending me out? Like, is this happening?
It would be
if war happens, it happens.
To overextend ourselves, and right now our priority is the Silver Thimble at large. What happens
if war
after?
Happens,
Who can say?
If war happens, it happens. We're part of this world, so we'll
War is life.
One step at a time, people. One step at a time.
If war happens, it won't be because we start it. But,
I mean, you know what? I actually can't guarantee that we wouldn't accidentally cause a war, but we are not intending to start.
That's not.
I am
that's
certain
not-
that I am the
objective.
cause of a near war.
It's where if
But, like,
we
you know-
unintentionally cause tensions, we do our best.
we're gonna be making
Rectify
allies
those
and
mistakes.
enemies and
money,
whatnot. Yeah, money too.
Sometimes we're able to save a wedding. Sometimes you shoot a magician and he falls into a river and you assume he's dead. You know, these things happen.
And sometimes we break someone out of jail. Yeah.
And sometimes we flood people.
Why do I feel like there's a lot of stories that we need to all talk about at some point? Because we're storing so many things that I'm not understanding. But
Have you met us before?
Yeah.
It's not an objective. It is a possibility along the way.
Exactly.
But that's a point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read B's point again, just in case that you guys didn't catch it, because it was a little bit talked over. Like, have you met us before? It's not an objective. It's a possibility along the way. Speaking on war.
You're here.
Yeah, we're
Here,
not
here, here, here.
warmongers.
There are steps, and us talking today and figuring out those extra steps, the extra bargaining chips. We now know stuff like web ball that can maybe get us in the door to set up a communication tower. We now know, well, maybe it's a community beacon, or maybe it is a it has different things to it. So that way diplomacy has different chips it can play with, but also those who are exploring and just saying how do you do's out and about, they also have other they have things they can gauge other cultures with. Are they interested in like trade, or are they more interested in something else? So us together, coming together and talking about what we care about, it has been such an honor to see all of us here and realize we really are all in a pretty good harmony. Like, despite us being so scattered and this being like one of the only all hands we've ever experienced, like, this is pretty great what we've done. And just gonna like clap for ourselves. Everybody pat yourselves on the back, turn to the person to
no
your
one's
left.
punched
pat them.
anybody yet.
I
No,
can't
not
reach my back. The muscles.
Right under the shoulder.
Related to that, Kay, given what I recently said, you want to switch seats for a second?
I'll do it.
All right, deal.
Yeah, I'm
look
gonna
at him.
scamper across the table and take Nicole's seat.
I just
Nicole's seat.
visualized you doing that the way that you ran away from the flamingos.
So, like,
Beal
Peanut-
scratch Royce's back for him.
Craig, you dropped something.
and B can do it from the other side of the table too.
What are you scratching?
From everywhere.
Like, can you harden?
Is it just slime
It
just
just-
rolling up my back?
Is it just being pet with like
sponge
Jello?
just
Is that how it
adding you?
feels?
Royce just gets itchier.
Wet.
I feel like I'm having
You don't know. You don't know the
breakout of
bee's not made out of
hepatitis.
cortisone.
It's like a localized Jello fight.
Do we just hear like wet slapping noises from the back? Like
I hate wet slapping noises as like a
And
statement.
from the back.
And then suddenly we got gelatin plate. Oh boy! Come on, people. We still have questions to answer.
Pretty much.
How did
Kinda
Karam
rhythmic.
sneak that in here? I want to know.
Gemini just starts pulling out slices of cake. Nobody knows where they come from. He's like, "Is it dessert time?"
What is that?
Yes, give me.
It's always dessert time.
Karam has to RP how he snuck that in here.
have we reached a consensus then on our goal?
I believe so. Like, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. I believe, like, for the most part, the consensus is build up the silver thimble, protect the silver thimble, and admitting the fact that we do need a military. Like,
At least,
so we're not
at least
to some degree
sense of force
some,
for sure.
Yeah, some
not
force.
necessarily to be proactive with it, but
I'm not
saying
we don't. I'm not saying we need. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we don't need security. We need defense.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need the cops. We need like the guards on the wall situation.
Yeah, fuck the police.
Yeah, no, honestly, fuck cops.
Hell yeah. Again.
There's not a
Here,
there's not a
here.
goddamn
Flamingo
person
stomp.
in this
Police.
fucking meeting that isn't gonna be like, fuck the cops. So like, we're not looking to be cops, but we do need to take
Yes,
care of
but
ourselves.
we do
awkward
need someone to
because
sniff out the
Ahab-
spies, the interlopers, the deceivers.
It looks like building up the city, not just for like ourselves, but for people, protecting it and building our resources so that we have stronger standing. That feels like a main one, and like the various ways we go about that. Also, just exploration and adventure, and figuring out the fuck we did so we don't do it again. Feels like the main 3 goals that I have seen echoed for basically everyone. I think that's where we're like the focus be.
Just to be certain, could you repeat that? I've requested to record some of this info for some of the officers who couldn't make it, if you don't mind, Captain.
Rebuilding or building up the city, both its defense and its resources, so we take care of the city and ourselves, so that we have a stronger position where we are. Figuring out the fuck we did, so that we don't do it again. And exploration, really, and learning about the world around us, which is ultimately just more reconnaissance, but fun reconnaissance, but reconnaissance nonetheless.
I got it written down. Thank you, Captain.
All right, absolutely. So it's just like, and now we move on to step 2. And it's just like, Pinus is like, I'm glad we're all mostly in harmony. And he motions over to Ceylon. Like,
Crystal's
we're all in
kind of glowing.
It's just like we're feeling like this is a good thing. And he's like, he's behind him. He has the threats written down, are like dreamworms, flamingos, like, and then like next to it, it's just like, is hymnal a threat? Talk, but he's just like, and that's all amazing. Now, this might be a trickier one for us all. And I feel like there are too many departments for the Wander crew. I personally feel like we are stretched a little thin, where we could consolidate our efforts. He wanted to say power, but he was just like, efforts.
So I'm going to be fully transparent. Ultimately, what I like to see is to pull everything down to like 4 departments. That feels good to me personally. I believe Joaquin said earlier, like a military force, a diplomatic force, and an outreach force. I think adding a research division to that feels like a good...
I did not mention outreach, just research.
I thought you said
So,
outreach. For some reason.
I wrote down
no.
research,
R&D.
diplomacy, and military outreach
Okay,
as
military.
what you had said.
A lot of this is, I don't want to just like assume, but like a lot of this is kind of fitting with what I put the other day. We don't have to stick with that, but I'm just
Oh no, like we are borrowing some from what you said.
Basically, we're
for
borrowing
sure.
a little bit from like all the conversations that we've had.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
There.
So
Are we
from
doing
Go ahead.
Are we doing another round robin of proposals for this?
Let me pitch what we're thinking, and then we'll see where you guys are at.
Roger.
What we would like to do with departments is an extra thing for you guys. So we'd like 4 feels good. We want to put a lot of personality and flavor into those departments, so it's not just your job, but also like a culture, like a community within itself. Our goals are to do department speakeasies for a given department, where the officers of said department get to kind of co-DM those sessions to give their crew objectives, work towards their goals, whatever those goals are. And also just, it gives a lot of people a chance to be on screen, but with like a cohesive goal together. I think that can be lots of fun. We would like it so that when you guys are, as players, is out in the games that you're playing, that you're also carrying with you a little extra objective that you might want to work towards, like your teams, like your departments, branches, goals, whatever they are. You're also furthering that, so you have like a little bit of extra story to work with, especially for players who are in between finding like a concrete story for themselves. Like, I think a lot of people have threads that they're pulling on, but this will be a way to move forward and have something that you're working towards. So I know that there was like concern that it was going to be like silos and everything like that, and that's absolutely not the goal. It is an extra thing on top of what you already have to get to play with new stuff. Yeah, side objectives, exactly. A little extra thing for you guys that also utilizes the departments in a way that should, I think, be super fun. We really wanted to pull it down to like 4-ish, just because I think we have like 6.5 right now. Which feels like a bit much. I think some of these certainly can be consolidated. So we currently have communications, which is switchboard. It kind of covers the spies and diplomats, but it does not completely cover them. Engineering, which is generally building like structures, weapons, vehicles, whatever you got. Repairs, R&D. Science covers a lot. Chemistry, botany, like the bio and medical department, which like, it is science, but is that the best place for it? Unsure. Then the anthropology and archaeology sections, is that the best place for them? Unsure. We have security, which has been more like basically just munitions and like people who do good damage. And that we don't necessarily need that because almost everyone can do damage, but we do need an overall like defense department. I think that is something that is kind of necessary for us. We have navigation, which covers scouting, cartography, the helm, formerly rift travel, but as we like explore, we might find more things about that, so it is important to keep that in mind. Then we've had like admin, which has been Krieg and Isaac, basically. Krieg, Isaac, and Katori have essentially been like these guys who don't fall under something specific, but really it needs to be integrated somewhere. And then reacquisitions as just a whole department, which is more an objective versus like a department. So we would like to trim those, and if we want to like reband the flavors, that'd be good. I don't want to be too broad with them. I do want them to have a bit of structure so that we can do something specific with them versus like being super nebulous and anyone could be like anywhere and it's like very wishy-washy. There's not a lot for us to do story-wise with that. Sometimes you have to commit to decisions to be able to get like the most out of a story, and that's what I'm looking for. It's just a rebranding. The defense department is fine.
My concern, about the defense is that we've in the past talked about how we didn't necessarily need the security department to be its own thing because everyone was able to provide that. I'm concerned that would be an ongoing issue if we tried to make that a whole department.
So defense is much broader than so security was just people who do damage. When I'm thinking defense, I'm thinking that's where the spies go, because that's where your information gatherers are taking that information. It's also organizing the like building of actual defensive structures around the city, making sure that the city is secure, both like physically and like in terms of spies and subterfuge. I can't, but you know the word. Like that.
I'm perfect.
That kind of
subterfuge.
Thank you. I can't. The word is just not going to happen for me. So, you get it.
And like we could put engineers. Like if you used to be in engineering and you wanted to move over to defense, then that is fine too. Because like if your character is into building things and you are building protections, even if it's not like you don't have to build a weapon to help with defense, you know?
Defense covers a lot more than security did.
Yeah, security was security on the ship. And remember, we had an academy before, but we did not have a city. Like, the Lockstitch Academy was 2 buildings. It was an academy and then a bar across the thing. And now there's a whole city, so now defense makes sense. Then it did.
And Undercity.
It's like we can individually like protect ourselves. Like if something comes at us, we all have those abilities, but our city is full of people who cannot defend themselves, and it is our responsibility to defend them, which means we need a system for handling that.
Would they be only at the city, or are we thinking that they would travel as well?
So
you guys all would try.
Yeah, because we are outlining our goals, that like the main goal that we keep coming back to is building up the Silver Thimble and making sure that its people are protected. We would start there. Like what what we do once we branch out from that is like more stuff that we can explore in the future. But like for right now, that would be its like main objective.
Right. Those are just side objectives. If you want to take your character out on a mission that is not in there, but you've already joined defense, you can go. You guys can go out on adventures. You are not stuck at home because your primary job is to protect the city. Just like Akana can sign up for missions that aren't about sneaking around being a spy. Just being the spy master is only a small part of her character. It is not the entire character. But the whole time that she's out there doing other missions, and like, I'm sorry if I'm like calling you out on this a lot, on this Akana, but she's always also doing the spy thing, you know? She's always looking for information. It's just like, this is what I want. Like, I want you guys to have your job, but also have your character. And like, if you can't get the job done, that's fine. Just play the game.
Sure, I can be a mayor, but I can also be a businessman.
Right.
Yeah, I was
Mayor,
gonna ask
businessman, mob.
I was going to ask about, like, I didn't want to lose kind of the experience and skills I've gained in navigation because I still am interested in that. Like, my character is still interested in that. I just happen to be mediocre at this spy thing.
No, you don't lose anything. Like, you guys don't lose anything from, like, your character doesn't suddenly become a different character. Your character has not cut off, like, some of your own storyline. The only thing that we've done is if you guys want to go with this, is you letting us know what stories you want to see as well. That's it. There's no panic
adding
of us
on
like,
instead of removing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, everything is in addition to. It is not taking anything from you.
And we want to do the officer games because we want you guys who have helped us set this up and like just played so well that we promoted you, and like you guys play so great, or bullied into it. Like you guys have played so great that I want to reward you. So like that's what I want for the speakeasy games, and it takes a little bit off my plate.
We have some really neat ideas for you guys within these types of games. So, like, it's going to be fun. Like, we would never pitch absolute fucking trash at you. We would never be like, oh, we're gonna take everything away and everything's gonna suck and you have to do what we tell you to do now. Like, it is just an extra set of missions and, like, character information and, like, character lore for you. And you get a chance to play around with not just some DMing, but also, like, getting to know the people in your department. Being thrown together when you may not normally play games together.
I can think of like 3 broad categories we could lump everything into, really. Like communications, R&D or science and technology, whatever you would want to call it, and defense. Kind of covers everything.
I did research and development, operations and support, acquisitions, and defense.
Zach, could you repeat what you had said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said communications, R&D or science and technology, whichever you would want to call it, and then defense.
I am taking notes in the character manifest, just heads up, and you have rights to also take notes there.
Yeah, because like communications covers like radio stuff, actual communications, right? Diplomacy, spy stuff. Like R&D, science and technology is like medical, all the sciences, engineering, like all that, like the actual like research part of stuff too, you know. Then defense is kind of covers everything else, because like all the physical stuff, all the acquisition stuff is strengthening our defenses. Kind of the way I saw it.
Talk to me about communications outside of defense, because I was kind of thinking we could integrate communications into defense.
Well, because I was thinking like communications covers, like with diplomacy you have to go out, you know, communicate, probably long distance. You have to use communications to engage diplomacy.
Most of our diplomats are spies, just for the record.
Well, yes.
So.
They sure are.
Yeah, it's just so technically
through official channels.
So they
I would
come under
like
defense in that way.
I'd like to literally you just said official channels, and I was thinking proper channels. The idea of kind of rebranding like communications as the proper channels means like you could be an exploratory group and you can simply we'll go through the proper channels, whether that's like the wheeling and dealing and like admin paperwork kind of thing, or the intel and the spies and so like comms and defense can talk to each other in terms of like the intel gathering and all the thing, but also like I think like proper channels gives it such a more like a value behind it kind of thing. That way it's not just the switchboards or not just the diplomats, not just the I don't know if that actually helps, but like it feels like it might come up more casually as like a group than just a rigid we do towers, and it's like nah, we do more.
I know that Leto has to go. Do you want to weigh in real quick before you have to dip out? If Leto's not already dead.
No, I'm still here. I'm just getting ready.
You're the best. You're ridiculously handsome.
Well, thank you.
Ow.
I like one that said science and technology, throwing engineering in there, because you can have one department that, like, the technology obviously will encompass engineering, and it'll also encompass sciences, which, depending on what science they're doing, can also benefit engineering, and depending on what they're researching. So lumping those two together, I think, works out.
100%.
It's basically a vote for consolidating engineering and sciences and the sciences in general department together.
R&D,
Yes, correct.
We're researching and we're developing.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can see engineering and science being together.
What I was saying, yeah, either
Then I
call
think,
it R&D or science and technology.
I think riffs would also fall under there.
Mm-hmm.
So we have... do we... Okay.
I did... In
Science
the
and-
notes that I had, I
Give me
did
a
have
beat.
the separated section. Like, there's people that do research navigations, and then there's people that do applied navigations. They're not necessarily the same group all
love
the
you,
time,
Leto.
so I think we
He
need to
died.
keep that in mind.
So my actual thought here was completely, like, another direction. Magic as a department. Which is not something that I've thought about, but, like, we have magic everywhere and everything, and, like, rifts and maybe, like, the anomalies and other things like that, like...
I mean,
Feels
that
like
was going to be
research.
like my proposal, like when we got to it.
Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, you just do it
No.
now.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Yeah, I was planning on extending the reality observation and fabrication labs to include all riff study.
If I may, that also sounds like it would fit right into figuring out what happened to this world and looking into the past as well. Because they seem to be joined at the hip, as it were.
Yeah, we've learned a lot of cool things about magic as of recently, especially in, like, if you guys haven't been paying attention, like, and I've said it enough times that I will clarify it for you. Even you guys' magic is created by spirits, and it's like your magic in this world doesn't.
For you guys,
I've thrown it out. I've said it enough times.
You've been hinting, but I don't know if it's yeah. Like, chance
I'm pretty sure a lot of us didn't realize it until
Yep,
here it is.
Like, yeah, you guys
Eat
have
enough
just
breadcrumbs.
straight up been feeding spirits your energy, and they do what you want them to do. Like, Leto is a spirit in a body. Mai, who we met at the Delvin game, is a spirit in a body. Like, there are you have met more, you just don't know that you have. So, like, the idea that magical studies is a perfectly, like, reasonable thing, like, and we could break that into, like studies of spirits, like, theologically, like, I think that might be a place that, and we could study the resonance, because it's not a technology thing and it's not a science thing, it's a faith thing. Like,
I have concerns about that, because I feel like a lot of us that are in what we would otherwise consider the research and development because they're science also would be researching magic, and if you split those in two, because magic and science are almost hand in hand.
I am trying to tell you that they are not.
I kind of disagree with that as well.
Right.
Magic is magic.
Definitely
Science is
do not
science.
understand much of what I do, and yet I can just do it. Would you like a balloon?
Poof, here's a balloon.
So I feel like fundamentally an understanding of your world is science, and so I can see the argument for magic study to be under that. But
Yeah.
it is its own whole entire thing that we know very little about. And I don't want to go so far as calling it like metaphysical, but like it is a separate area of study that is not necessarily subject to the same like laws or methods of investigation that like science is. But then I guess if Rennick were here, maybe he could tell us if he could mathematically
No, see, I think that is exactly the point.
Mathematically?
Because mathematically
is
it's
that what you said?
amazing.
Because that's very good. And I'm gonna write that down somewhere. I don't know what to do with it. But...
I think that's arithmancy.
Yeah, it's a branch of arithmancy.
We set that, like, we didn't know we were going to do this, but we set that up in a previous game. Like, we set up the fact that Rennick thought that magic worked one way, and then while he was in space, he discovered it doesn't. It works... he thought his magic used to work based on the numbers, but then he learned that there's magic that works just based fully on faith. Like, he knew he was wrong, but he believed it would work, so it did. So...
Right, when he went to the apocalypse world with the tingers.
We established it, so I think, it's like, I'm cool with magical studies being a thing if everybody else is cool with it.
Also, on the subject of
Kay
science...
is interested in both. I don't know how to deal with that.
If I could make a suggestion,
Okay,
Please, I'd like to hear some other people speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because my idea, Laura's idea for bringing it down to 4 departments, would have a research department, but then a sub-department inside research that is magical, so it needs to be split between magical and technological. So they're the same department, but 2 sub-departments in that one larger whole.
I mean, I think you could have, like, science be separate from magic, even if you understand, like, magic could fall under it. Magic is specialized enough that it can constitute a separate department just for logistics reasons.
But then it would just be a turn of just magic, because what else would fit in there?
Right, but magic
Magic
is
is a lot.
such... Yeah, magic is so huge. Like, that's why there are different types of sciences, is because, like, to really understand biology, for instance, well, there's a ton of stuff. There are chemists that are specifically about biological chemistry, that kind of... you have to, like, subdivide because there's so much.
Like specialize.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
and that's where I'm
the
saying
understanding of the sciences is based on logic and reason. We want to get magic to that point, but we don't. But it's not there currently. Therefore, it needs to be its own department of research.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
they both fall under research, but they are separate, like, sub-departments.
Are we trying to
Inside.
avoid sub-departments, or...
I wouldn't necessarily say they were trying to avoid it, but I would also like not be chasing them
To explain
down.
like why I am putting it this way, because I haven't like sort of made my 2 cents yet for like the paring it down to 4 total departments. The other 3 ideas I've had is we keep admin as like its own thing, but that includes switchboard accounting.
I don't
want to
keep admin. Just as a heads up.
Fair enough.
Admin
We
is
can
getting
like
closed out.
fudge those somewhere else. but there's defense and then have exploration and diplomacy as a single department because those kind of go hand in hand. As you're exploring, you're going to encounter new people. You're going to have to engage in diplomacy.
On the other hand, also, like, I think all of, like, exploration encompasses all of it. Because even, like, for the research side, for, like, the sciences, we need to get out there and see what new stuff we can learn about this world.
But before you get to research, you have to explore to know if there's something there you want to research.
Yeah, but I mean, because we are all playing in a role-playing game that involves us going on adventures, so I don't know that having an exploration department makes as much sense because we're all explorers.
Yeah, I agree with this. It actually had come up before of like, ooh, but like exploring as like a role, and it's like we're all explorers. Like we're all adventurers, we're all curious, we all want to go out and explore. I think that's like a given that all crew members want to do because it is a role-playing game and that is literally the point.
Yeah, like the exploration department is the Wanderpus.
So, but I like...
So it's, if I may, so it's less that we're exploring, but more why are we exploring? What are we trying to get out of it? In terms of department.
I liked exploration linked with diplomacy, though, because I do think that links back to the outreach that I thought Joaquin said. And putting those kind of as a bundle together. I don't want to say outreach for it, but, like, the front-facing, which is both, like, the navigation and the actual getting around. Go ahead.
It's the Enterprise D Captain Picard section.
Right? Like, the flagship part, the part that you show everyone, the one that everyone is kind of like pumped to see. So you do want your diplomats there, front and center. Like, you do want those people. But it does bring me back to all of our diplomats are spies.
See,
as they should be.
I mean,
because what I kind of like pared down some of the existing existing departments into those like areas as I was writing notes, and that's why I put like around the diplomacy and exploration I put scouting, diplomats, and then I also believe we should just kind of combine everything that is anthropology, archaeology, and history together into one entity, and I would put it under exploration and diplomacy, kind of because like
I would also do that, yeah.
I would also do that, yeah.
It gives another perspective when
it's
you're
understanding the people and understanding like the cultures, like both current and pre-existing, does feel very important for an exploration-based crew. I think that makes a logical sense.
There are not a whole like lot of us that are individually anthropology or archaeology.
No, it's literally you and Gemini, I think.
Okay. So just like slap them all together under one thing.
And I think that fits well with the,
fits
explore and meet new peoples and build bridges part of a.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're the part of the diplomacy crew that brings that weird box Nasus into space with blood and naked people on it, but minus the blood and naked people.
Yeah, probably still with the blood and the naked people. Talali,
we already have B. We don't need more blood.
Oh no!
I'm a little concerned.
We don't need more blood and or naked women.
Please let Talali speak.
As people.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I forgot what I said. I'm just so tired right now.
No, we lost it. There was something. I knew it.
The nuggets.
Not the nuggets.
As somebody in navigation and cartography, which also I think would fit into that, does that feel like a good fit to you?
Yes.
Cool. Nailed it.
I got cake, apparently.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You said you wanted to eat a piece of cake, so you and Gemini are sharing cake.
Cake.
Nice.
Is there like gelatin in that cake? Is that where the gelatin came from?
Gelatin is on Royce's back.
Oh, well, thankfully I'm right next to him. I'm gonna lick Royce's elbow.
Yeah, that is a pie.
I don't want to have food eaten off me at this juncture.
Yeah.
Oh, not for no, just some sweat.
What does the llama look like, everybody? What's a llama look like? Fight me on this one. That's cake.
That's fair.
What?
Like a pachyderm with wings.
I feel like you've called it pie in the past, though, but I'll go with it.
It could be a cheesecake.
It could be a cake and a pie at the same time, I guess. It could be both. I don't
It's like
invent the rules.
cheesecake or key lime pie. I don't know.
I can't remember what it was when I made the token.
I too will eat this cake pie.
It's called Big Parasite 2 in my documents, in case you were wondering.
Not eating
so.
it. Nope.
I'll still eat it.
All right, so
absolutely.
I'm
so
gonna tell you guys real quick. I just took all of this and I threw it into ChatGPT because like I need it to do the thinking for us to maybe shortcut this a little bit. And its suggestion was to do exploration and diplomacy as a department, science and medicine as a department, engineering and infrastructure as a department, and security and defense as a department. That is its pitch.
Okay, so exploration and diplomacy.
I will copy and paste it into the workshop for everyone to look at.
Much appreciado.
So it's each section and then what is in that section. I will break it up to do a better job because it looks like shit.
Just a little bit.
I like that.
All right, so we
as of right now, it looks like it's everything that we've said. I'm sorry, Leo. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just gonna think we're making progress. Hooray!
I know we were
See, this
saying
is-
combining engineering and science. Is that still something that we wanted to do?
I think
All the research got combined. Was that the original thought?
It would be like researching and developing.
I feel like R&D could stay under science because at that point it is still research. It's not when it comes to actually like building the things, making the stuff, that is when it moves to engineering and infrastructure.
I think then we would combining science and engineering on this list would still be fine in my book, but then we do the magical one. Like the fourth one is the magical studies or
This
the
one
enchanted
has-
studies or
This already spit out for, so what would you like replace or change?
we'd put science in with engineering and infrastructure
Okay, and then put magical studies as its own
its own thing. Yeah. That is what I think personally, but no, go ahead. Everybody
I
has an
would
opinion.
say move infrastructure in with security and defense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
Where would the historians fit in?
They would probably fit in with science, like R&D. Yeah, R&D because
I think
exploration and
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Talking a little bit ago, where I brought it up and we talked about it a little bit, was it fall kind of lumping the anthropology, art history together?
Oh yeah, okay. You're right, Laura.
The only question is, in this world, are rifts a magic or a science?
And that's part of the study. So I asked, because I did not include magic studies in what I pitched or asked from ChatGPT. I literally just copied the list that we have from the all hands doc and put it in. So I asked it where it would put magic, and it says arcane sciences and medicine is where that would go. So it would put magic in science and medicine, and we would probably put infrastructure into defense, but then rebrand engineering as science and technology.
I think
Or, like,
the like infrastructure is an interesting word because that can easily hold together buildings, technology, security, and defense. Infrastructure is also how strong we are. Come fucking test us.
I like it as a word. I would like to keep that somewhere in this.
And to like trim
Defense
these
and
words
infrastructure.
down. Say it again.
Defense and infrastructure is one.
I think like like how we were saying to group those together, and that allows simply calling it infrastructure, and the like science, the medicine, the research, the engineering, all that, literally clumping it into a word, so it is easier for all of us moving forward. Simply calling all of that like research, because we keep coming back to that, and that is so clearly what it is. Like you're out here researching these kinds of things, including the tech, or including magic, or including like all these other, which encompasses exploring, but in that way the sciences and such. And like and the exploration and diplomacy part, that part I don't know like a good one word, because like it would do more, right? It had doing the front facing and the welcome party, the whole, but on top of the like cultural research and the figuring out logistics and supplies and all the and that'll help us trim it down to 3. And if you wanted a 4th one that was simply magic, that makes sure.
It's I don't
You
want
really want that, I
I don't want to pull rank, but I am going to say that if we have magic as a thing, it is its own, because you do not study magic the same way that you study science. It's because you can't, because it's magic. It's not a real thing. It doesn't actually exist in our world, but the way that I have been trying to set up magic in this world, the work that I've already been putting in, it is distinctly different than what we do with science or engineering. So that is the moment that I'm going to I will die on that hill.
And that allows us to have the 4 with magic being its own. I look forward to what you have in store. Ooh.
Okay. So just so I'm basically
Gatecraft.
We're putting engineering and science, infrastructure in security and defense, and then making a arcane science division.
That's correct. That is as far as I know. As far as
Does that sound correct to everyone? Is that what we're pitching?
You just said arcane science. Is that different from
magic study?
Magic. Okay.
Arcane magic.
Because you can use magic to fuel technology, but the study of it is its own thing, basically.
And clearly, we don't understand shit as a crew.
Right.
And we're all learning new things, especially with all these worlds combined. So it does seem to be kind of imperative that we actually understand these forces that we're dealing with.
Be like arcane development.
Ooh.
That's huge words, and I won't type them.
We could call it thaumaturgy.
Oh man.
Thaumaturgy is pretty good.
That's a little different.
Magic, right?
It's so linked to 14 though that I kind of
that's fair. Yeah, you're right.
I
do
was
like the word
leaning
thaumaturgist.
towards thaumaturgy being what we call seasonings wizards moving forward.
Yes,
it was on my potential list because we do want to rebrand those just so we can understand that it's a distinction, but that's other random behind the scenes stuff.
That'd be a better way to use that word, I think.
Is the spiritual flair still part of magic, since most magic is spiritual, or are they 2 different things?
That would be a thing to study.
That would be what they would be studying.
So it'd be still under arcane studies regardless.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely yes.
What's
but
next?
Are we good? Are we all good? I wanted to make sure. I know I steamrolled at the end there, and I don't want to be that guy.
No,
but
not at all.
I think I'm in agreement.
Aina, you're such a bully.
I try not to be.
How about a cigarette?
Also, infrastructure is a great rebrand for defense. It sounds so wholesome. Just we're just infrastructure, and it's
What did we decide on the infrastructure? It was security and defense, but also the building
and the actual building.
Buildings
with
repairs.
So essentially, engineering is being moved into science, but the infrastructure part of it, the actual city building stuff, is under
requisitions and admin things. Feels which
Scrap 'em.
one?
They both go.
Scrap.
Okay,
Yeah, they're gone.
I agree with scrapping airship. I feel miscellaneous stuff that goes right into infrastructure type of because that is more that city building the infrastructure, but also us building versus the specific city as well. Okay.
Okay, so the 4 is statecraft, research, infrastructure, and the arcane one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
we don't need to come up with great names for them right now.
Because trust me, we're
gonna
gonna come up with banger names for it, so it's fine. We're so good at naming things, but we want to at least.
Sorry.
What was that?
Once that's all set, let me know so that I can mention it to the other folks. Because I've actually been just
absolutely, and you all will be able to you guys decide what department that you're in. We know where Vatna's gonna fall now because now there's a magic one, and you guys can and crew too. You guys, like, once we get the names out, fucking sign up for your new departments, and like know that your officers will be in charge of those officer games, and having your officers in games could affect those games. Just so you guys know, we want to make these characters on the screen right now important. And like you guys have always been important. You guys are like some of the key
Always
fucking players. Always important. But like,
Oh, baloney on mine.
except Creek's not an
baloney on
officer
that.
anymore, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
get out of here,
Oh
Creed.
yeah, sorry, Krieger.
Creed's
You already
resigning.
resigned.
Actually.
Yeah, that's why I haven't really talked. I'm not in a
I
department
mean, he
anymore.
has to actually win the election.
That's fair.
Oh, I will.
Oh, no, he resigned. If he loses, that's on him.
He's being placed on the council. Like,
I have a background as a businessman. Traders Kriegs. Here we go. That's my B plan.
we just have to decide. Like, anyway, all right, we'll talk about that
Moving
in a
on.
second.
We have
All right,
one more
I'm
big
sorry,
question.
everybody. Like the next big question for everybody to like tap into. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, okay, you were saying.
I have concerns about the magic part, specifically because a lot of people that enjoy researching would be looking into magic, but may also be interested in other forms of research.
Pick a lane. Thumbs up. You gotta have you guys start to commit to making decisions. Like actually decide, like commit to who your character is and what they are doing. I understand, especially the like ADHD urge to be like, I want everything all the time and I never want to miss out on anything possible. But like, if you want the best experience out of your character, I guarantee you need to make some actual concrete decisions.
And I will promise going forward that there will be as much science stuff to research as there is magical stuff to research.
Also,
that,
like,
I'm going to
I was
and
just
say
gonna
for all of them.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say,
like-
like Caustic, you want to be in Arcane Study. Like, you may not know that, but that is the best pick for you from our stance. Like by like miles. Like,
Who's going to be in charge of science? We don't have anyone.
Oh, you got high.
We have plenty of science officers.
Look at all these officers that are sitting in this call. So
I'll
let you
look at me, though.
guys decide what departments you
Don't.
want to be in.
I don't belong in anything.
Like we just said that Blueberries is in science. He's a science officer.
Blueberry.
Okay, my concern is he is a science officer, but who is going to be researching the actual like biology of anything going around? Who's going to be researching the plants, the trees, the animals? Like
that
the
can't
players
be.
that want to focus on that. That's
Do-
not.
do we
that's
not
not
have a
what I wanna
crew?
do. That's there are plenty of characters. Literally 52, 53 if Foley is returning this season. Characters that are actively in play right now. There are plenty of things for them to do and to explore. And we will give you guys stuff. Whatever avenue you go down, we're going to give you plenty of stuff to play with. Like, I promise you. Like, we are not cutting stuff away from you. We are giving you things.
You can always intermingle. It's not like you can't talk to the
Right, 'cause,
research
like,
kid
you guys
if you're
aren't-
an engineer.
You guys aren't silent. Like, you can only talk to your department. Like, no, of course not. That would be ridiculous. The
You can
only,
drink
like...
with whoever you want.
Right, like, the only, like,
could have
all
hobbies.
department things are going to be the speakeasy-style games where you are working within your department. And, like, you will have your department objectives when you're going on other missions, but, like, you are not excluded from being able to interact with other people and to collaborate on projects. Obviously, you're always going to need more than just, like, engineers. Like, you will need, like, other people working with the engineers to do whatever it is you're trying to do. So you guys are going to get to work together. It's just you are going to be getting some storylines that are specific to the department as well.
Yeah.
So no need to panic.
Yeah, like I'll be honest. None of this is gonna stop Leo from talking to just about everybody.
Right?
It ain't
It's just
stopping.
like you guys are good to go. And like
fight clubs.
Bars.
Yeah, Frog Club. That was a great movie.
Woo.
Lore heard all about it.
Lore knows
No,
all
wait,
about
it.
it,
Was
yeah.
Pollux and Castor
Pollux
know
and
all about
Castor.
it from Becky telling them. All right,
Yeah,
so
Lore
quick
watched
question.
it. I think that was the movie we saw.
yeah. Oh, wait, you went on a date with? Wait, sorry. What did you just say?
I think was that the movie that Laura saw with Sal?
Oh no, the original one had like a really stupid name, and I can't remember it. It was like the Frog Princess, like in like the lagoon.
Yeah.
Oh no, it might.
It definitely.
I think it might have
Lagoon
just been
I think
Princess
Lagoon was in
Lagoon
the
or
title.
something.
I'm pretty
Wasn't that
sure.
name of the
That
book
one was a
someone
romance.
stole?
It was Siren's Lagoon, which
Siren's Lagoon.
is like in
Nice.
a magical underwater kingdom. A like frog prince sets out to rescue his true love from like a sea witch or
Wasn't that a
something.
book?
Is this a real movie?
No,
No.
we just made it up
Sometimes
for
you just
nothing.
gotta make things.
Like did we ever talk
Or that
about it?
was
No, but
A
officially,
book.
if you want to know,
That
that
someone
was it.
stole.
I just want to specify the fish kind. Thank you.
This needs to be written for canon.
Where's the
can't do
fanfic?
I'm not writing a fucking script right now, man. I don't got time for that.
That's what ChatGPT is for.
I guess so.
Yeah, but that thing is so wild sometimes. Like you can't
Alan,
trust that. Like,
what we're here
what's
for.
up?
Salad. We're getting in salad again. We have a big.
We are.
budget.
We are very stuck in the salad. Ceylon, you were saying something. You said you had one
I have
question.
a question in terms of so like we broke ourselves down into or kind of divvied. I like the 4. I think there's going to be some cool direction there. When it comes to us as like officers and leaders, I like the idea that it is less about
Comma.
like the comma.
Sorry. Yeah, can you do a bunch of commas and then chameleon? Sorry, salad. My bad.
I will wait.
I'm about
But the
to fall
like
asleep.
having the like who are we as officers to crew, and if like all the people in research aren't necessarily answering to one or just 2 like officers, I like the idea of officers being the guiding force. Like these departments or so are they have a task. They have a couple of pieces of tasks that they got to do. Y'all have values to yourself. Research, you know what you're up to. You know why you're doing it. And like officers play a role that helps the crew. And I would love to see that in speakeasies. I think
You
that's
are
going to be
going
like
to see
so
that.
fun.
You are absolutely
Yeah.
see exactly that thing.
Yes,
We've
that-
talked
that
the
is
hierarchy.
literally the game.
We talked
Yeah,
a
like the
little bit.
hierarchy worry. I'm not scared of that.
It's not
yeah.
going to be hierarchy in that way. It's like fun hierarchy, not
Awesome.
like you have to do
Yeah.
what I say because I'm like your superior. Because that's not the vibe. We want to do fun things.
Awesome.
So yes,
Awesome.
as guide and mentors, like I know for you guys who are officers and in the VIP channel, I did mention I think towards the start of the season that I was thinking about officers as a mentor direction, and we're gonna see that play out. And like obviously we have some ideas of how we want that to work, but like in practice, let's see how it actually like pans out at the table. I'm sorry, my cat is obsessive.
Yeah, that sounds great. And like a load off this like hierarchy of and it's like, nah, have fun with it. Yeah, you're gonna be able to talk to other people.
Yeah, it's not a silo situation. It's just an extra fun, neat thing, and we have plenty of ways that we want to use it, and neat things that we want to do with you guys for it. We just couldn't juggle it when there are like 7 different departments. Like it's too much, and there'd be like too spread out.
That's why 4-part
Right.
harmony, baby, is tight.
I pitched repeatedly
Oh, yeah.
that I really want to treat it in a Harry Potter house style, but like fuck J.K. Rowling, but like that kind of vibe. So it's just a little extra thing about yourself, and we can talk about that and explore that and expand those and like what the cultures are for each of those departments and so on and so forth, like at a future date, but that's not a right now date. I think, are we ready for part 3?
I think we are ready for the fun fucking part of the game.
Oh boy, here we go.
Thank you guys for all like hanging out and enjoying that part of it. But let's get to the meat. Let's get to the dessert, shall we? All right.
Oh boy.
So
Enough salad, more
congratulations.
dessert.
More cake.
Congratulations, everybody. And like Krieg, even though you left, you still get a voice in this part. So don't you worry.
Can't kick me out. I'm still here.
Right? He's just like he's still in the room. It's like let's talk about which direction we want to go next. Is it we have east, south, and west. Those are the 3 directions that we can go. And with our 3 communications towers set up, we are able to go to any of those 3. Now, let me preface this by saying we can still have smaller games that take place in the other game, in those other maps. But we are deciding which way we want to go and which one we want to put the towers at first. And that is 100%, well, not 100%, that is a large percent because these maps cost a lot of money, and I need to know which maps we need to build next.
Yeah, this is, it is an unfortunate but practical limitation for us, because we have to commission them, which takes money, and also the map maker needs to be able to draw them, which takes time.
Exactly.
So
like,
is
you guys,
that MacGuffin. Sorry.
Whichever one you are, sorry. Whichever side we choose to go to, like, that is the side that is going to be the main storyline side that we will be focusing on in the like coming month or two, or however long. I assume a month or two, and then we'll get more. But you guys can still go to the other ones if the mission requires it. If like that is where we are going.
But without major towers, like, there are some limitations on that. So,
yeah, without major towers, we can't go to the connecting areas of those.
I was going to put a poll up in chat for everyone so you guys can vote. However, officers, you do get final say, but seeing what everybody votes for will kind of give you an idea, but you also have, all of you, have your own personal motivations for where you might want to go.
And you guys can argue your points for sure.
Absolutely.
Are we also voting in chat?
I'm fine with you guys voting in chat. You really don't need to. This is mostly, like, the vote that I'm going to put up is just so that you can see where everybody else is at and take that into consideration. I am going to tell everybody the name of each side. We have dropped it multiple times.
Oh,
so
I was going to read that. I was going to read those right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Okay. I am going to, before you do that, I'm going to put the poll up. I'm going to allow additional votes, but not for you to stack one side more than another, but so that you can kind of ranked choice your voting. So stick to 2 as a vote, ideally. Like, please. But I'm gonna let that be.
We have a request for a second balloon for Vatna.
How long do we want to leave the poll up for? Just real quick.
I don't know, a couple minutes. Because
I'm gonna go with the 5-minute one then.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know how to rank.
For people to have the conversations.
All right.
But
I can't. Okay. Fuck. It's gonna take 1 channel point for the extra vote because I don't really care about that part. But all right, it is up at the top of the screen. Vote for which direction you would like to go.
Right,
but we are going to talk about what's in various directions now, I think.
All right. So to the west, we have folk song and like a couple like things that lead us that way. That side is called folk song. We know that is where Adira is from. We have beermancers that might be able to cure midnight's. Oh yeah. Oh well. Sorry. Who's Adira?
My only character. From
I was like, so we have beermancers that might cure midnight's curse. Soki's ghost in a lantern. Giant out-of-control vampire bush generating plant-based charity copies. Belltown and Billiam. Yoke? ? And beyond that, like, so that is west, but west, if we go to west and then we go further, is the side where we saw the nightmares from Cash and Clem having. And then west-south leads to Tea Time's home, which I think she's talked about a little bit, but we have not focused on it. To the east, we have Bone Meal. The scent of brimstone continues in that direction. Cass's hometown of Drydock. Rumors of an ancient tome or tomb called Plumbob. Giant sand wall. Milkable giant centipedes. And a town called Bigburg. And beyond that is the Warbletingers, which is east-east-south. And a fine Mediterranean restaurant for Ez was told that Joaquin was told about from a flamingo that they then murdered. That is east and then east.
And then I stole.
That was rude.
And then you robbed him.
He was a flamingo, and technically we did not murder him. The fire did it. So.
Did you cause the fire?
I'd like to say that I hate everything.
I did
about
not start the
phrase
fire.
Milkable giant centipedes.
Milkable giant centipedes.
Milkable giant centipedes.
Milkable giant centipedes. They're about the size of a school bus.
I know what side my heart lies.
Anything is better than lemons.
I know you do. And to the south, it is called the Neverglades. There's a town called Happenstance that's full of happy dancing beetles. There's a town called Dendroid that's home of squirrels that scavenge to make monster trucks. We have seen the Furious Five, a group of squirrels on an adventure. The Sickened Sea, a skyscraper is said to have stood up and wandered out of the scrapyard. There's stories of a giant snake, and south and beyond that is Sabbatha is south and then west, and there's a pirate queen south and then east. Those are what we know about these places right now. So,
and we
gave
hinted at some other stuff that like is a little bit further out from that, but we picked with everything that was in the most like immediate that you know about. But there's still some other stuff, especially those of you who had world building stuff. Like, you know where your sides are, I should hope. But that's everything that like during game has been spoken to be true for each of these directions.
Don't forget about the ship that we learned about that recently crash landed. I forgot what side that was on.
That is south. There's south, then
Southwest,
west,
south,
then
I think?
west.
Oh,
yeah, southwest, south. Southwest, south. Sorry.
Okay. Cool.
3 sides removed.
I have a proposal on that front.
Mm-hmm.
With the towers now askew as they are and not in the ideal position, it would be easier on resources and a test run to go south and then east.
Why south first?
For our friend Midnight.
West, you mean?
That was west for Midnight.
So for Midnight, because he's chasing 2 threads. For his curse, I think we had said west, and then for the scent of brimstone, which was something he was following, is east. So
he wants to go west and east.
Yep.
Gotcha. Which unfortunately are pretty much opposite sides.
Then I misheard.
Mm-hmm. Like, if we intend to do that, we would have to go west, then north, then like towards the east. We'd have to go around. Or if we want to, make less of those towers, we would just go west a little bit and then turn around and go east. But that could take time.
And like, do be aware that Midnight has access to getting around his curse with him making friends with Gibbet. Like, he has access to his magic by way of
drugs.
By way of drugs.
My as much
Liquid
as
drugs.
as much as I personally am interested in the southern area, especially after what I've heard about a skyscraper that seems to have somehow moved off. Forgive me, I'm curious about that, but I feel like, considering the situations happening to the west, we might want to take care of that first. The vampiric flower clone of one of our own crew is not a good thing to see going about, and the sooner we nip that problem in the bud, the better. There was also the talk of the nightmares further towards the west, which is another potentially big thing. A lot of potentially very dangerous things towards the west. And it might behoove us to take care of those problems before we can move about more freely. Especially because I'm worried with the west, they might flame our crew, since one of our crew looks a lot like these clones. That could be a bit of an issue we might want to take.
Is this a thing where if we avoid something, will it continue? Or is it like in video games where if you avoid it...
baby. It absolutely will.
It
That
will
clock
not
is ticking.
Okay, hold pause. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I'll go then come back. No, it's like, okay, I ignore that. Now it's gotten ginormous.
Yeah, it's like either we deal with those or it could get bad real quick. Well, quicker. It's already bad as it is.
I also have some notes for consideration for going west.
Absolutely.
I don't know exactly any plans we have to travel to the east or south, as in ways to traverse the giant sand wall or the falls. But my fellows in Lullaby do have an established waterway to the west that we are free to use.
Well, I know for sure we have a secure way south, thanks to the folks in Happenstance. We've made friends with them there, and they happen to have a way to bring us to the southern area safe, which is something we could consider for later. yes, it's for
Thank you
smaller
guys for paying attention. Thank you guys so much.
I love you
It
guys
is
so
for
much. You guys
smaller
are
groups.
fantastic.
But once we go down there, it'll be a small group, yes. But once we get a tower settled, that can help us start, and we could work our way potentially from the south side to build a way for us to more like massively, in a way, get to our home side. That for the future, after after we deal with the west, if we go west first.
The waterways do allow a large group of people to move. I would also, yes, I would also press on the knowledge that Lullaby currently has on the other side. They've done dealings, from my understanding, with people over there, so we won't be going in completely blind. Though I do understand that we do have people from the other sides among our group already, but I think it's a less risk to go west, despite the dangers that are there.
Main focus west, small scout group south.
Well, I'd also like to note we do have one person who is at least related with the crew who came from the east and would easily be able to find us ways to get around there. But beyond that, Officer Stein positive, I did have a question that would, require your expertise, I would say.
As a real quick note, we have Cass, who is from the east. We have Aurel, who is from the west. Clovis is from southwest. And Lady Tea Time is west-south, I believe.
And
Just
I
for
think
a note on where those characters came from. So we have several characters within the crew that are from around.
This is out of character, but you guys do know that the east does lead to Pim's family. Not immediately, but
eventually.
East is that direct. Pim's family is east, and in character,
Walk
you guys
Return
don't know
time.
because Pim didn't get the mail.
Oh no!
So we don't know nothing about that.
God damn it, Pim.
One character we know, but in character we don't know nothing.
The main question Creek has is which side is going to make him the most money?
I would
Ignore
think
him.
the side that if we don't solve it, we all die. Just saying. That's a bad problem.
No, I'll be fine. Don't worry.
He resigned. Don't.
Didn't Gemini and Peanut see the Walpertingers kind of fall towards out east?
Oh, fucking natural 20. Goddamn.
Oh.
Okay,
That was
alright,
Wow.
Almost.
Wow. 20
What's-
is the opposite side if we're talking sides.
No, it's not. It's not sides. It's he was asking what side makes him the most money.
It's a knowledge-
Nika, what,
it's a knowledge check.
Nika, what side? What side did we tell Krieg to go? I can't remember right off the top of my head. East. Oh yeah. Oh, Krieg knows. Krieg 1000% knows how to make money to the east. He's been talking with Krieg.
Yo.
Krieg, you ready for it?
Yeah.
You've been talking with Karam, and Karam's been telling you not Karam, Cassidus, I'm sorry. And Cassidus has been telling you some stories over drinks and whatnot. And Cass is telling you about how this is an incredibly wealthy city being formed. It has sprung up overnight. It wasn't there, and now it is there. And it's a massively successful mining town. It's called Digburg. It's amazing. You have no idea. And the treasure hunters that wander the vast deserts to the east and find giant pearls, the size of cars or buildings. That is how large these things are, and their worth is immeasurable. And then he drops a message, a tiny little hint, a tiny thing. This is a little thing. He mentions that people have seen a beautiful woman wandering through the area with multicolored serpentine hair.
Oh.
They say hair, but they say hair, but they might not mean hair. You know,
He knows.
something on her
Yeah.
head. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
For
That's
those
what your
of
20
you-
gives you.
For those of
What
you
does it
in the roll 20 real quick, just move your character over to the west, southeast icon of wherever you want personally to go. Carry on.
Whee! Look at everybody. Musical chairs.
So, actually, back to that question I had for Vatna.
Oh, poor Lore.
I
Laura,
can't seem to.
Where's Dolly? South or west?
I can't move.
Oh wait! Oh no, we can't. We can't move. We can't move.
Oh,
we can't
that-
move Gemini.
That's my bad.
Unmovable.
I put him down very first, I believe. Yeah.
Where's Gemini going? Oh damn! we all
Slally,
going
are
west.
you west or south?
Southwest.
South?
By the way,
Oh.
Gemini's just constantly repeating to himself, "Giant milkable centipedes."
Oh, that's towards the east.
Those are to the east.
You're on the wrong side if you want to go to those centipedes.
Wait, oh wait, no, oh no, oh yeah,
Almost had him.
east,
Almost.
east, yeah.
Ultimately,
Oh.
Talali wants to go
Sorry.
west, south, or whatever, but for the first step of it, it will be to the west, just for like.
Okay.
So we'll do it that way.
Okay.
And we're missing two though. Where are these two going?
Yeah, it's like I get it, the
Or-
tiebreakers
okay, first
are
off,
B.
fuck off. Blueberries wants to go south.
I was about to say,
Like-
it wants the monster trucks, right?
There's monster trucks. We know where Blueberries wants to go.
It's like a scrap garden down there for you.
So it's just gonna be peanut, lore, and blueberries just going
I
south
mean,
on a
I
road
feel
trip.
like
Well, it's kinda
Blueberries
trash
is gonna sneak
Oh, I can't
his
move the-
his truck down there anyway, probably.
Can't move the cake.
Oh yeah, the cake is. Yeah, hold on.
Where's the kid going?
Cigarettes just floating
There
in
we
too.
go.
What the
How the kid's going?
Steal the cigarette.
As an out of character side note, I would like to say that the insulation on this water bottle is ridiculous and works very well.
Oh, is that an advertisement for Fish Tinger merch?
For Fish Tinger merchandise, yes.
What a great
You
time
heard
for a
it here,
commercial break.
You heard it here, folks.
Oh, the crew
Fish Tinger water
decide. Check out this cool
Yeah, where's
merch.
the captain gonna stand?
So essentially, I stand with the people, and the people have voted to go west to Folksong. That was the vote that came up the most in the chat. So I can't actually move myself. I can move other people.
Oh yeah, you can't move your stuff.
I hit
so
Leto
that-
up to just be like, real quick, which direction you want to go? He would like to go east, just for the record.
So,
All right.
so by the looks of it, it's like west got first, east is second,
Yeah.
south is third.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just like this is a winner takes all scenario. But again, we can have games in the other places. Don't worry. Just,
Right. Like you're
Oh.
telling me Blueberries is not gonna go south to see those monster trucks? I call bullshit. You know he's going.
He's gonna go driving down the cliff in his monster truck. You can't stop him.
Hey, you
Hey,
guys
you're
want
gonna-
to see something cool?
He's gonna bring some
What?
folks with him.
Yes.
Do it.
What's happening? What's happening?
Trying.
Awesome.
Hey!
Ooh.
It's almost like you knew which way we were gonna go.
I mean,
I have all three of the maps.
all three of them are set, but did we know this is the direction you guys were going to go? Yes, of course it did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me
Of course.
introduce you to folks.
I like the plants.
It looks so.
Yeah. Imagine if you put a bunch of vampire fucking like rose bushes in those plants. Oh, Syria.
What?
I want to
Syria?
meet that
Imagine if
friendly
we had
fellow in obsitation. I want to meet him.
Obstetrician.
Obsession.
Oh, that looks like a
Obsession.
friend. Also,
He's
the
a friend.
pink mermaid is
That
great.
is very friend shaped.
Or excuse me, the pink mer person. I should not. have
Is
said
Yoke
mer.
just sitting on top of a giant egg?
It sure is.
Oh, you think
Ma'am.
it's called yolk? It's
That
egg.
looks a little bit like it
Thank
might
you, I
be
hate
a
it.
dragon egg, but don't
I
Creek,
hate it.
congratulations.
You can make the world's biggest omelet, Creek.
Also, we
I've
were
also-
hearing an
First.
L in the yolk.
I have put the map, this map site in the workshop, so you guys in the chat can like go and actually look at it. And
Oh, good, because I'm over here with my face pressed against it.
Yep. I posted that. I
mirror
posted that
your
shit.
face on your monitor, just like, yes, yes.
We
You know
turn
what?
that into an omelet, it's a one-time deal. If I make that a tourist attraction, I make so much more money.
You know what? Fair.
Just
Sorry.
raise it.
Soki,
Just
Soki,
make
Soki,
more.
are you in the chat? Soki,
Soki
Soki, are you
is.
there? Soki,
Okay.
Soki. Look how small this. Look how small this kingdom is. Look how small this
That's a
kingdom is.
tiny. That's a tiny.
It's
It's
piece.
an absolutely tiny kingdom.
Look at that.
So
See how
small you
tiny
can't
this
see it.
kingdom is?
The tiniest kingdom.
Look at that. Look at
So
that.
Is it as small as mice might be?
It might be as small as mice could live.
Oh, nah.
Is this you saying I'm gonna have to
Uh-huh.
DM a game?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why we just
I-
like, reminded just like oh, hey, real quick. You're
I
still
like how
down for that,
purple
right?
it is.
I have a Mousefire card.
For Brom.
I have a mouse of fire
We're gonna
card.
we're gonna
I have
to
two.
do- We're gonna
I've
have
played
to
a
do a
mouse
mouse
fire
stream.
card.
like before heading there. We have to. It's like the
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the trees
so
around
nice.
Belltown look like they're flexing.
You might
Are
need
you
a
in-
couple
are you
mouse
in
of
Tim-
fire
I fucking love
screens, 'cause There are a
Belltown.
lot of.
Are you
Yeah, no,
intimidated?
we might need a few.
Belltown just looks great.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Amazing.
It all looks great.
There are cool
like, here-
caves in those mountains to the southeast.
There's so
I wanna
much
go.
These are the
I want to go
aqueducts,
in
by
those.
the
I want to
way.
go in all those caves.
That looks great.
There's a lot we got. There's a lot we got to do around here. Oh, boy.
And just for clarification, the waterways lead us to like right here, right? I'm assuming.
No, this you come out here.
Oh, right
Like,
here.
Like that's a cave that leads out of the caves, and then you just go down these aqueducts, and like, you guys can take the sub the entire way.
I want to know what the little pointy-looking doorway at the very bottom right is.
Is this a snake or a root?
Oh, there's pathways we can take.
Definitely a snake.
I think it's
Which
because there's
part?
pathways. 'Cause look, it looks like they connect here to
That's
here
the
to
Mines
here.
of Moria, actually.
I mean, the other side.
Yeah, I
of,
want to go through them.
the other side of the mines.
It's much more fun if we go through them than just skip it with the sub.
I think with the sub, it would be a good way to get to Yoke quickly if we need to go to.
Oh,
Yoke.
don't you guys worry. There's so much more in those silver caves than just the dwarves. There's so much more. The bats live there. We haven't gone to the bats' homes yet. There are other kind of bats people. Like, don't you guys worry. We're gonna see a ton of stuff. But mainly, we invented this place and we were like, hey, how about just giant flora? Like, what if like plants are huge, like absolutely massive? Not specifically like creatures, but like the plants are huge. And then Osiris is like, yeah, I'm gonna send like that charity vampire fucking thing like further west. I'm like, okay, which way? It's just like kind of in the southern, like, I'm like, oh, get fucked. You sent them into literally the worst place. Literally the worst place.
The absolute worst place. The place that
Like, this map was already done by the time she said that.
You're gonna have to draw little fangs on everything by hand.
See, I'm gonna need to talk to you, Assyria. Just saying. We haven't done those new department changes yet, so we're still in the same department. I need to talk to you about this.
I'm gonna make so much money.
First, we need a wall of fire.
Excuse me.
So-
I have to work on that now that I'm going into office.
Yeah, so yeah, that other question I had was actually in terms of stabilizing the various towers, whether it would be better to go west than east, for example, or just keep going in one direction.
And yeah, we don't have to make that decision right now. But like,
Okay.
they are going to be equally as strong. Like, if you guys decide to go, so this is west. Like, we know that this is west, but because it is a globe, it connects with, which makes this technically north, I believe, right?
So the way that we have been doing the directions is purely like once you are on a side, the direction that you need to go to the next side. So we like when we say like southwest, we really mean south and then west. So when I sent you guys, I'm so sorry, Rupert. It's just like the loudest thing.
No, don't apologize for Rupert. It's fine.
Like, I love maps. I know how to lay it out. Give me a shot, please.
This is all in character for just walks into the
Rupert is
meeting.
looking for a chillos.
Like, I was gonna be playing Rupert and Peanut at the same time. I was gonna have two mics set up with like push to talk on, but it just like that was the original plan before we realized that we were gonna do everybody.
Yeah.
I think the fact that Rupert's not there is why he's voicing his concern.
He has a lot to say.
Y'all having a meeting without me?
Rupert would have wanted to go east, for the record.
He's just screaming outside the door.
Oh, 1,000% Rupert wanted to go east.
Rupert wants to go east.
Maybe that's why he's voicing his concern. Like, wait, we're not going east.
Here is me east.
So do the directions stay the same regardless of what map we're on?
It's basically
like, north
in
is
your
always north, or
yes, but we tend to do it in steps, like a grid, as opposed to like a generalized direction. But if you're talking about like you're at Yoke, but you want to like go to, I don't know, whatever the fuck this little thing is here. Okay, we'll go to Mousetown. Like, then you go southwest because you're like actually going southwest. But when you're talking about sides, it's by step. So if you went like south, you would go south, and then when you got to the side that was south, you would then go west. when we're talking about facets, just to make it easier.
Okay.
Because there is not actual north. This on this side or on any of these adjacent sides here, like this right here, this connects to the tip of seasonal. Like seasonal is like here. Those 5 sides, they all connect at that point. So there's nothing north of here, except for going over the top of the world and going down to the other side. But we're sticking with a side situation, not a point situation for how we navigate. Just, again, for, like,
Makes
sanity and budget.
One of the things, and this is where it just comes into like, so excited, and now we have like more maps, so now it's like, yeah, now we'll actually figure out how to cartograph and such, and I think that's gonna be like super fun. So when y'all have like suggestions and cool shit, like we have the suggestion channel and how to make a lot of this information easier. I personally wanna because y'all have put the crew and helped shape what that looks like, and we have like a semblance of a direction, giving y'all a better infrastructure to actually like add that kind of lore and also see more of the map as it grows, and know where and what without having to constantly be like, well, it's west, west, south, south, not like west, southwest kind of thing. Yeah, we will work on that. So if y'all have ideas, absolutely let us know. And another big kind of if that's part of your vibe and you're into that too, like stagecraft.
So could you eventually go in a circle by going the same direction?
Yes.
Like, get back to where you started if
Yep.
you just go in the same direction?
We literally...
Yeah, if you go
found...
west again, and then west again, and then west again, you will end up at the direct east.
Okay.
Which is perfectly fine. If you guys wanted to do that, if you want to like make the map, like if you want to like fill out the map before you like expand, perfectly fine. If you guys just want to keep going in like a certain direct, like not, you know, because we know that west will eventually lead you east, but like you go west now, but then you guys take south and just keep going that direction.
You can absolutely do that.
You can absolutely do that and wrap all the way around the world. Perfectly fine with me.
You mean this world isn't flat?
I'm sorry to say. I mean, liminal was kind of not flat, but like a chunk taken out of the ground, essentially. But no, it is three-dimensional.
And there's nothing stopping us from going east to go east again, but we can go back to the thimble and then pick a different direction. We don't have to go a different direction again. We can go backwards and then
exactly. Yeah,
if totally you like explored all of this and you're like, no, I want to go like back to the Neverglades, like that's where I want to go. That's totally fine. Once we have commissioned the map, it is like available as like an option to pick and go to. Okay. But knowing that you guys are concentratedly going on this direction, we know which maps to get commissioned next.
Now, if we do go on like a single like adventure on one of the other maps, do we see the entire map or do we only see the new map revealed?
Just tiny little parts.
Just little bits, the same way that the first one was revealed. We have commissioned 4 sides. We have all of them, so we could have shown you any of the 3 adjacent sides today.
Oh, okay.
They're all ready to go, which is why we are at this point right now, because we have them now, so you guys can go. Then yeah, the next batch will be the side that connects to the south here and to the west here will be the next ones we can.
So what number is this then?
Ugh, I don't have it on me. I want to say it's 19. I don't have my die on me in here.
I don't mean to make you.
Right.
What? Maybe we could like put like a little number somewhere on the map. Be like, yeah, this number is.
So like we kind of avoided doing that because like the
south is 7, east is 13.
The number counting system is purely for like for us when we're in the commission.
For out
to
of
be
character.
Like,
in character, it makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, no. In character, that's fine. We don't know
it's
about
not
that.
actually a die in real like in-game life. But yeah, this is side 19.
You mean there's not a giant number painted on each side somehow?
It would kind of be funny if it were, but I don't want to go there. I want it to be like
floating there.
There's deep under the water. There's a 19 somewhere.
No, I was going to say it's on the other side. It's hollow. It's a hollow Isodecahedron.
Oh damn, we can't even see it.
It's like the Universal Studios logo. It's circling the Earth. You just can't see it.
For storyline reasons, I do know that it is not hollow.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
It has a
pretend
gooey
that-
center.
Wow, that's fantastic. My shitposting actually got lore.
I would
and
just like
so,
to
like,
say that,
with-
like, I've said
Oh, go
nothing
ahead.
about that this entire time since we had the talk before the season 3 started, and that came up in our conversation.
Comma.
Held on to that.
That was for me. Sorry. I wanted to have like be on the screen.
Hi, B.
Hi, B. How you doing?
Are you
And
excited
yeah.
about our new direction, B? Are you
boy.
pumped? Are you? Ooh.
B wants more than anything to be over here, I think.
Murder?
Oh.
Yeah, that's the dirt.
West?
Yeah,
West
West. There's so much good stuff in West. Like, oh my god, guys, West is so good.
West is so
Like,
good.
enjoy that little bit of a spoiler, but West is like, delicious.
Oh boy.
Also,
Okay, but,
Belltown
like,
was.
south?
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Nope, you go first.
I was going to say, Belltown's where we did the Blades in the Dark session, if I remember correctly.
That is correct.
It sure is.
Compare west to west and west south, Nika.
What's that?
Compare west and west south. I want to know.
It's completely flavor though. Like I know.
What kind of flavor?
Strawberry.
Like,
And look at the edges. Look at the edges.
Boysenberry?
the edges that they give you like a
The
a hint.
edges, like the sides are clues.
Ooh, okay. Oh, wait. All right, you heard it here. Pay attention to those sides, everybody.
So it's like smoky and mysterious that way.
Because here's the giant forest we
Yep.
were talking about.
Look at the size of the tassel worm.
Is West the same as
Of the
East
what?
East?
No.
Oh.
West takes you to 3. East takes you to what I think is 9. I think is that. All we did was we literally just looked up like paper D20.
Wait, doesn't East take you to 5?
Like, don't get me wrong.
East-
if you
no, I
go
don't
west
think so.
enough, if you
No,
go
No, East takes you to 11. No, wait, no.
No.
No, East
takes
is 13 and then 9.
Yeah, it's 9.
Hey guys,
Oh shit!
Guys,
I'm
how did
sorry.
it even
I
work?
was looking the wrong way.
What were you
Sorry,
trying
what
to
was
say?
that, Talal?
You heading out?
I don't mean to interrupt, but I am so tired.
Oh, you're fine. Thank you for showing up, though, and thank you. Like I think that's probably a good, solid place to end it. Then,
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we did exactly what I wanted this to do, and we did it
In
as
exactly the correct amount of time. Like
the
10 out of 10.
exact amount,
guys. Nailed
the correct amount of time, and also just without any arguing or anything. And like, I'm sorry that if we made you guys feel like
I did
not just you guys in the chat, but like the crew.
Didn't want you guys
It's
to be
like,
anxious about this. This is
didn't
like
want
a,
you guys to
a
like
good fun
panic.
time. We're always
It's
doing
like literally
neat
we
shit
just
for
want to
guys.
give you stuff.
We just want to do neat shit. We're not
I've
here
been
to
happy the entire time.
I feel
Terrible
like
shit on you.
80% of us have anxiety,
I
and you
know.
told us we had a meeting coming.
I understand. I get that it's like beyond control, but like every meeting for us is purely so we can build more shit and do more shit.
More of a what can I do for you instead of okay, what do you
Look
need
at this neat
to
thing that we're
be?
doing.
You're gonna fire me? Are you gonna fire me?
No, I want to give you
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
here,
everyone
not
with a
this
pre-existing
organization.
anxiety disorder, raise your hand.
I am sweated through. Like, I'm just like, what's gonna happen?
Of dragging you all into a voice call and firing you is the most insane shit.
No, dragging them all into a voice call and firing one of them.
Oh no!
You roll
Don't
that.
worry.
Don't worry.
Jesus Christ.
Since Krieg resigned, can we fire him out of a cannon?
100%.
Let's hope he wins this campaign. He's got tough competition.
Yeah,
which we will.
like not spoilers, but like little hint about the future. Just a little one, just a tiny one. I don't know who he's running against.
But we're gonna find out, and you guys are gonna. help
We're gonna
find
find out.
We're gonna learn
I
today.
haven't been
Well, not
researching
today, but soon.
politics or debates all week.
I
have
have
no idea what
3
you're talking
stranger
about.
arrives. I don't think I want to go against him. though,
Vote for
though.
me. I know exactly what you
No,
want.
all of the strangers.
Oh, no.
All the stranger arrived cards. All of them.
So when
Do
you
you
were
want-
picking your new department, and we'll structure that way. If you know wholesale, you're like, I already know where I'm going. DM it to me, please.
Yep. Well, I mean, my vocation hasn't changed for Leo. R&D, it shall remain.
So the way that we're gonna treat it personally is if it's obvious and you're not like relocating, like we know where you want to be. If you specifically are like, no, I need to make a choice of which department I'm in, or I'm changing departments, just DM me. Like, also just DM me. Like, I know you guys hesitate, like, oh, I don't want to like bother you if you guys are busy. Like, I'm busy all the time, but also DMs are not a bother to me, and I will get to them like when I get to them. So it is no problem for me when you send me DMs. Like, just DM it to me. It's fine. Just like, please.
Hey,
Alright,
Alan,
so-
did you get
Ooh,
the
go ahead.
DM I sent you about the added PC card?
About the what now?
The added NPC card I played for the Moss game?
Oh, yes. You will have an otter working at Kriegs. Like, they will be setting up Kriegs Market Square for you, absolutely. Oop.
Yes. I want to get that answered. Anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys, all of you, for showing up to this game. Thank you so very much, and for putting in your opinions and having opinions. And I'm sorry for making you guys stressed, but
it's always
let
fun
that be a
things.
lesson to you. Stop. Just stop. Like, if I'm calling you in, I'm not going to yell at you. If I want to yell at you, I'm going to do it in text, because that way, like, I can caps lock and don't have to
Alan
hurt
just
myself.
tell everyone to stop being neurodivergent?
I'm not be neurodivergent, but like be the fun kind.
Wow. You heard it here, folks. Cancel Alan.
To say something terrible.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm only getting 3.5 hours of sleep / read.
Me too, buddy.
That's a
Yeah,
nice
because the anxiety of this meeting.
So,
I slept like a baby. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you guys.
Alright, so we're all beating up Alan, right?
So,
like a Waffle House.
I wasn't anxious. I kind of want something bad to happen.
We'll throw Alan into we'll make Alan play Mortal Kombat. That's how we're gonna beat him.
So bad at Mortal Kombat.
Yep, Alan versus 17 to 18 Thero officers.
Oh, you're in trouble.
obviously, you guys can't stop being anxious people. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, if you can't, it's not a light switch. You can't just turn it off because people are like, "Oh, don't feel that way." Just remember, like, when all of those things start screaming anxiety, remember that we have said repeatedly that we are on your side and we want to tell a cool story with you guys. That's our goal. We want to do cool shit with you guys. So every time you're like, "Oh fuck, could it be like bad?" No, because we want to do cool shit with you guys.
Quick look at our share.
We'll be fine now.
Look at our share real quick.
Bullshit policy.
I think now that we've experienced it the first time, we know what to like personally expect, so we're all fine.
Fair enough.
It's always that first time where it's like, God damn it, Seth.
Honestly, you guys did amazing. I was worried that you guys
really
would,
did.
like,
You all did.
go super hard and talking over each other. Like, I was really, but like, y'all were really respectful to each other, which is just, so very becoming of officers. So, like, thank you guys so much for, like, proving that you're, like, good at your job.
Well, you see the captain's like right there, so like we gotta like act.
Gotta wear your Sunday best.
We gotta be good.
Craig had to behave. He already knows he fits in the captain's mouth.
I've been there.
A lot of things.
No.
Yeah, we were all in range of the captain's multiple weapons.
All right, so we're gonna wrap here. So this officially kicks off Streamiversary. Streamiversary, for those of you that are on the newer side, is just the month with which I started streaming, and then we celebrate because it's stream anniversary. It is also Rupert's birthday this month, so we tend to double up and do something goofy. I don't know what a Rupert goof looks like, but I know that we'll
finally finds that chillos.
Oh god. All right.
It should be just one where we're all working at Chillos.
So, obviously, it's the last day of the month, but we have no idea what the games are going to be coming up for May, purely because we needed this event to figure out where the fuck you guys are going, so we can know what kind of games to make for you. So, Alan and I will be doing that this week. We're going to go super hard on that so that, we have stuff for you. and we'll have the streamiversary schedule for you. On Tuesday, we want to resolve all the gachas that people have played, as well as all of the world building stuff. So if you are, I am manually signing this month. I have to, just for all the things we're juggling. Also, I think you just get a better quality game when we do, personally. But there'll be some free space games. So there's always like something that you can choose. But we have some neat stuff for you guys, obviously. So
and Lurid, we are going to be working on that thing.
There's a few things that we have to hit. Like we have to hit up a few people for some interesting.
Oh no! I was out like not that. Like I was telling Lurid that we want to put together a Google Doc that is all the house rules and the starting equipment and stuff like that.
That'd
be so
we have the pieces of that. We just have to actually sit down and write it. Tuesday, we are also going to resolve all the world builder cards. So if you currently have a world builder, play it, or you can wait to play it on Tuesday. But we want all of those resolved this week. So you're gonna play them. We're gonna hit you up if you want to hop on a call. We can do it. If you just wanted to like do it DMs, we could do it that way. Leo, thank you. So that we have all of those things settled, because once we start commissioning more sides, that is yet another side that you can't add something to, because it's already there. So, yeah, thumbs up. We will put that call out on Tuesday to resolve those things, get you guys your gachas, all that good stuff. Congrats to Ro, who was a top supporter for this month. I don't remember what it actually ended on, because it ended yesterday, but thank you, Jesus fucking Christ. Y'all are amazing, and enthusiastic, and aggressive.
And we'll do it again.
You forgot to add in bed after that.
So again, thank you guys all so much. This went fucking great. I love this. I have to pee so bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
As is tradition.
I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go just pass the fuck out. But thank you guys, all of these officers. Thank you all so much for coming to this.
Thank you.
I can't believe that
You guys did
we got
fucking
so
great.
many of you. Actually,
We're happy to help.
Buck wild. So thank you all for actually making this happening. It felt really good. So we're gonna fuck off. See you guys later this week sometime. Date to be determined. Bye forever.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.